Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Tales of Telduria. We have everyone here today, even though only two actually needed to show up. Everyone else wanted to show up. I guess the desire for Dragon Shrine was just too great. Maybe, possibly.
Imagine looking for adventure in an adventure game.
Damn.
I don't know,
I don't
maybe
even
people
like
wanted a break.
adventure.
Maybe they had other IRL things that they wanted to do. I don't know.
Oh wow, it's crazy. You got us emotionally invested in this awesome story that you wrote that we've been playing for, what is it, months now? And it's almost like we want to continue the story and everything that you do. Wow, insane, wow.
I know, right? It's very weird.
It's almost like we actually want to play.
I can neither confirm nor deny if there are bonuses for being in the Dragon Shrine, and everyone kind of went, "I'm not taking the chance that there is a bonus."
We
What
just
were you
like your
saying, Ryan?
company so much, Smile.
And what were you saying, Greg?
Nothing.
Oh.
You sound like when the teacher calls on you in class and you don't think you've done anything wrong, but you do.
No, it's just I
Because I haven't done anything wrong.
I just know that there were several people talking all at once, and I saw a whole bunch of bubbles pop up, so I thought
We're all
you were one of them.
shitposted.
But alright, RNGesus has selected Lysandra to detail what happened last session.
Oh, wonderful.
Why? I don't even remember what I ate for lunch yesterday, much less what happened last session.
That's
Maybe
why
you should
you
start
take
taking
notes.
notes then.
I probably should take notes, but my brain don't work like that. It don't work half the time anyways, apparently. Not
I
doing
know,
anything
with
one
how
way or...
racially insensitive you are.
Wait! You just mad because I don't like the German language today.
Yeah, but it's not how you said it.
Point and laugh at the racist, everybody.
Oh my god, you guys are gonna get me actually pegged as a racist one day. And I'm not gonna make it any better for myself. Last session, I really have nothing. I've got a huge blank.
All right, you come on.
Oh, the festival!
Yes,
Thank you, YGF.
I didn't say anything. No
Yeah, but you
thanks.
spoke, so I'm attributing it to you. So last session, we got rewards for being roped into taking back a kingdom, which was nice. You know, rewards are nice. And then people kind of, went and did their own thing. Lysandra and Rosin went to check on Guava. That went about as okay. Better for Rosin, not so great for Lysandra. We also found out what exactly her tiara does. It basically regulates her ability to remember things, and if it's removed, she forgets again, and if it comes back, she starts piecing things back together. Sammy opened a candy shop, was a little questionable with bullying children, but eventually, got some candy sold. Something about wine moms, they weren't great. And also got married to her lovely new husband, Leighton. Leiku is now basically queen of Kelnor. Kitan is... Wait, I'll go back to Kitan in a minute. Duras...
Yes.
Well, I want to end with what we're doing today. Shut up, shut up! Duras is dating Layla, right?
Yep.
Okay. Duras is dating Layla. Went out on a cute little date with her. Locke helped make some potions. I'm gotta be honest, I don't remember what you did. You helped make
That's
potions
basically all
though.
I did.
Yeah, okay, cool. Helped make all the potions, and now we're mostly back to normal except for Sammy, who, after talking to Cotmith, decided that this how she looks now and the gender that she is how she was meant to be, and she's happy that way. So now she goes by Sammy. And then, at the end, Catan and Reich were summoned by King Kane, to basically talk about something to do with a dragon shrine. He was able to get them the key, and now we're off to go into the dragon shrine and see what happens. Good? I did good?
Would anyone else like to add to that?
That sounds ominous. Why? Can't you just tell me I did good?
Would anyone else like to add to that?
Yes. Rosin also had a talk with Guava where, like, they did a little talking. He asked about her crown. She
I
admitted
said
that
that already!
Did I?
Rosin went on
Oh my
a
God.
date.
I
Rosin
said
went on a
that!
date with
Yeah, Rosin
Guava.
also
What
went
the
on a
fuck?
date
I'm
with
sorry.
Guava.
That's embarrassing.
What happened on the date? Tell us now!
Yeah, Rosin, what happened on the date?
Rosin helped Guava buy some clothes in town, and then Guava taught Rosin how to cook some spaghetti, and that was pretty much it. They had some nice talks, but and you guys are really expecting a lot. It was
You gotta get married now, dude, okay?
Everybody's doing it!
Everybody else here is getting mad.
Sammy.
Get married, dude!
Small clarification. While Leiku, I guess, is almost queen, she's not really there yet. Leiku and Kane have decided to not get married until after. He does all of his kingly stuff because, you know, he just recently came to power. And he wants to go to Telduria to discuss trade negotiations, which is going to take a bit, and he also needs to clean up the nation a bit. So she's kind of letting him do his thing, and then after that, then they'll get married. Catan and Rose would have gotten married, and they actually did some marriage preparations, but they're not doing that because Catan does not feel comfortable marrying Rose until his family is dead.
Oh, okay, fair though. Fair.
Doesn't want to.
Sorry, I
He
forgot
doesn't want
about
to
the
deal with
Connor
that.
Rose.
Wants to make sure that he has 0 family members attending his wedding, except for Reich.
Wait, what about the children?
Thank God.
What
about
do
the
you mean by the
babies?
children?
Well, there's more kids, right?
Oh, you mean like siblings?
Yeah, the
Yeah, no, they're dead. Catan's.
They're assholes too.
Yeah, they're dead. Their asses are gone.
Oh, okay.
You seem very upset by this statement.
No, it's just. I just find it funny that Lysandra was just like, hey, Catan, what if some of them are okay? And then Reich is like, I'm okay. And then Catan's like, everyone else dies.
Catan's just gonna place a hand on Lysandra's shoulder and like, you're not gonna fuck my siblings, they're evil.
The devious, I can fix them.
I mean, can I? No.
Catan's like thought
You
process
can't.
about this is that Reich went to the military. Sure, like he is an exception because he knows this, but Catan went to the military and then chose to not come back. His
Yeah.
other siblings all had the opportunity to do the same thing that Catan did. The thing is, though, is that they didn't. They went for their mandatory service and they went back home anyway. So
Okay, I have a question.
he's thinking that because, you know, they had the opportunity to leave and they didn't, that they're still siding with the family.
I have a question because I think I'm misunderstanding the sibling dynamic here. Is Catan the youngest?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not
Catan
children.
Yeah, I thought Catan was like a middle child, so I thought
No.
there were younger siblings than Catan. Okay.
Catan's the youngest
sense.
and Reich is the oldest.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
I like how
cool.
Sin's
Thank
voice
you.
gets like more serious and stern whenever she talks about Catan.
I
You get
can't
really
I
help
love
it,
character.
man. I can't
You
help
get really
it.
into character. I really appreciate it.
I like being my edgy cat boy. Edgy cat boy. He's goth. I know it. He
What do
doesn't
you-
want to admit it yet.
What do you mean? Your edgy cat boy is right there in front of the table. Round
He
and
doesn't want to admit
orbulous.
he's goth. He's gonna come into his awakening soon.
The round and orbulous cat in front of the table.
My
Hissy
cat!
goth?
Oh, Hissy can talk! Everyone talk to Hissy! Hissy
Oh,
will meow.
That happened last session. His first word was meow.
I love his.
No, Hissy's first
Officially,
word
yeah.
was a slur. She just censored it to say meow.
No. No. His
Hissy
first
just walks
word
into the
was
room.
Meow.
He just walks into the room like, Mother, I require treats.
I am like to imagine that Hissy actually has a really deep baritone.
That's
I can't. I obviously can't do it, even though I'm an alto. I can't do it. Babe, you do it.
No.
There you go.
Perfect.
Fuck.
Mother, I require kitty treats. My litter is full.
God. Leiku already kind of hears this in her head because, you know, animal companion, they can essentially kind of talk to each other by giving each other a look. But now that his thoughts are becoming, are taking verbal form, I'm sure it's going to take Leiku some time to adjust it, but she's not going to think that badly of it.
Alright, well, I'm gonna turn this music off. Is everyone ready for,
Yes!
for this
Yes.
music? Alright.
Yes!
Oh no, I
Yep.
wasn't. Hold on.
What do you mean I know?
Alright,
I
so
didn't know I
on
was
go.
Okay, I'm good.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So after the festivities and everything else, about a day goes by. After all of that has been more or less concluded with relationships solidified, genitalia hardened, wink wonk.
Huh?
Wink wonk. Clever, subtle joke, everyone.
In the morning, Kane does approach Catan and Reich as the both of you are setting up in the training field to try and master your current crafts. And he gives you an artifact. This artifact is just a key, but it's a very large key. It is about a foot long, to which those that don't know American length, look at the size of your foot. It is about that big, hence why
It
it
is
is called.
essentially the size of my dick.
Okay.
All right, so I'm removing Leiku from the campaign.
No, Mother.
And the cat, just deleting.
No! Crime, that's a hate crime, that's a hate crime, you can't do that. No! My son!
Oh no, not again.
So, as you were given this artifact, it's just a foot-long key. It's only got 2 teeth on it, and the handle itself, where you actually hold for the twist, is this weird oblong dragon body shape. It is solid gold, and it is surprisingly heavy for a key, being 5 pounds on its own. He tells you that there is a shrine on the eastern side of the island, though in order to get through it, you have to follow the coastline until the sands end, and then you need to go about southeast and follow until you get to the desert. Once you finally hit the edge of the desert, you should see a large shrine off in the distance. Question is who's going to carry the key?
Who's stronger between the both of us?
Probably you, but
That's
I
a strength
have some
score. I'm a
space.
decked build, so let me just take a look.
yeah, same.
Fuck.
I have enough space in my backpack for this large object.
How are we supposed to? Do we have to like hold it in our hands? Is that a requirement? Can we put it in a bag or?
Literally just asking who wants to carry the key.
Okay, give it to him.
Right, I put it in my backpack.
All right. And presumably everyone else is going, so as the two of you are walking along, everyone's like, hey, where are you going? You're like, oh, I'm going to a dragon shrine. And every other person is like, oh, okay, I'm gonna come too, because it's fun.
In reality, Leiku hears that you're going to a dragon shrine, and she immediately starts frothing at the mouth because she thinks dragons are cool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, big air quotes,
Frothing at the
cool.
mouth. Cool. You think they're cool.
They're cool. She's never seen one, okay?
You can't fuck the dragon, you have a
Zamanu?
husband.
Okay, Zamanu kinda counts, but like, she's assuming that it's
half-bred.
a dragon shrine, so therefore there's going to be an adult in there.
You can't fuck the dragon, you have a husband.
She is not going to fuck the dragon, she just simply wants
I
to
don't have
talk
a
to the
husband.
dragon.
Talk, in big air quotes.
What the fuck?
Listen, your buddy, I don't have a husband. I'm open, I'm free.
Alright.
Lysandra walking towards the dragon shrine with horny intent, and Leiku like rips her skirt a little, like, there you go, show some leg.
Alright, so the first challenge, the first actual challenge, is how are you going to cross the desert without issue? This one isn't a big challenge by any stretch of the means, but still.
I mean, I can create some water with magic. I don't know how far the walk is, though.
I can also create water with magic.
That doesn't really
mean,
help with the heat.
Oh.
That is
We're
true.
in a city. Is there not some, like, carriage or something we can hire that has, like, camels?
To be clear, the water that Rosin makes is rain in an area, so
Oh,
should
okay.
help a little,
Well, rain
but
can
only
help.
in bursts though. It's only in a small area.
We
Man, sure would have been
could.
nice if I took control weather. Rosin.
I said you shouldn't because I think you probably have better spells for your character. Rosin wouldn't be able to make heavy use of your spells, especially with a huge prep time.
I mean, we could just travel during the night and rest during the day with some sort of like tent plane set up to give us shade.
You do realize that deserts at night are just as dangerous as deserts during
Yeah,
the day.
it's exceptionally cold.
Yeah,
There's
it's cold.
no comfortable medium. Like,
But you can dress for cold.
Freeze you to death cold.
Yeah, but you can dress for cold, you can't dress for heat. Well,
Not really how that works,
do we-
but okay.
Do we have anyone here who could perhaps brew some potions or something that could help us? I feel like there should be several that give us some kind of resistance to heat or light or something.
I'm just looking at the moment.
Sammy,
Mm-hmm.
do you have any?
Does literally no one have endure elements? Because that's going to be hilariously depressing.
I don't.
I don't think so.
Damn. Skill issue.
I mean, I'm a tiefling, I can just endure it. I have fire
Well,
resistance.
classes can learn it.
Oh, yeah.
Alchemists
None of
should-
us are
both of
tiefling.
our alchemists should be able to do that pretty easily. Or do investigators get access to alchemist spells? That's how it works, right?
Yeah, we
I
get,
can, as a matter of fact, make a handful of endure elements.
They last 24 hours
Or
and take
there
a
is-
standard action to cast. It should be okay.
there is endure elements communal.
Sure.
It
I mean, I
doesn't
don't know.
say that
Do we have
many.
I don't know if you got to divide it that much. They last 24 hours. The first level spell.
Yeah, but for one person.
You can divide it the duration of 1
I
hour.
had duration by
increments
1
among
hour.
the creatures touched.
So Sammy
We
is going to
could-
very,
Thought you have.
Sammy's going to very quickly grab her gear and start brewing up a 3rd level endure communal elements.
Locke will do the same. We can always hand it out
guys can take
basically to
shifts.
each. Yeah.
Big shifts.
They last 24 hours.
That's what I mean. One
Yes, they
person
last
can make it for
24
day
hours.
One, the other one can make it for day 2, and then
They last
Don't you
24 hours,
But,
but
like, once
Not
they're
the
over, don't
communal
they just?
one though, guys.
No, but like what I'm saying is like after a day passes, don't you guys just get your first level spell slots back? Does it matter? Do we have to think about this hard?
Apparently, yes.
Basically, oh,
Okay,
I
okay.
think it's
I'm
fun to involve everybody.
I'm saying
Just
that
to make
between the two of you, each of you should be able to make enough little concoctions for each of us to last 24 hours in the elements, and then by the time it's over, you guys just have your slots back.
I only have 2 available first level spell slots.
Oh, okay.
I left open all but 1 first level slot, so I can make 6 potions.
Okay, so that's enough for all.
Oh, okay, so we actually can just make enough for the group then.
Yeah.
All right, well then I
Don't
guess
do
we're
the
all.
communal one.
You don't gotta
Not
math
the
out a
communal.
thing.
I guess we're gonna brew up enough first level potions for the group then.
Yay!
Yay.
Yep.
So that's how you're getting across, huh?
We're so judgy.
Just making sure.
Brings up the best possible example to use. Oh, you're gonna use my example?
Yay! You're a
I
bitch.
can make food
Smile,
for
smile,
one
smile,
meal
smile, smile.
as well.
Frown.
So I mean
Smile,
that
smile.
works.
Frown.
Smile.
Frown.
Let's see. Give me just a moment because I realized there was something that I forgot to do in relation to the Manu herself, actually.
Oh.
Ooh.
Just requires a tiny, tiny little bit of prep.
Oh, I got some fun new spells. I hope we'll get to use them here, but I don't think we will.
Probably not. I
have
took an
blink.
interesting one.
I could phase in and out of reality to walk through walls. That's pretty fun. I can
Okay.
teleport everyone up to 100 feet away.
I can make people come.
I can make 3 performances at once.
Yo.
Unwillingly.
Oh my god.
It's so ominous.
I know, I'm a comedic genius. I'll be here every week. I like peanut butter bread.
Smiles.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Sorry that I forgot to do this. It happens.
It's all good. Anyone else getting any interesting spells? Level 13 usually unlocks a new tier or something, doesn't it? Or 14 rather.
I learned how to
so-
swallow my poison and spit it up like a breath weapon.
That sounds pretty
I
fun.
got
Are you going to
7th
do it?
level spells.
Yes, because Sammy acquired a handful of poison reagents.
Oh, Katan's actually new spells are pretty interesting. He has a spell called Enervation, which allows you to do 1d4 negative levels that can stack with each other.
Funny.
I have Calcific Touch now, and every single time a touch attack lands, it slows a target for 1d4 dex damage, and if their dex goes to 0, then they just turn to stone forever. There's Flash Forward, to which Catan can do a charge action, and at the end of the charge, he can alter time to return back to his original position before he charged.
Oh, Bang, I'd love using that one. That's a good one.
Oh, I got something useful.
You did.
I can now repair limbs. Not really repair, but regenerate? I got regenerate.
Oh my god, the cleric and cleric!
No, if you lose a limb, I literally can replicate your limb. That's not cleric and clericing.
Wait, hold on, I have a question. Do we have to lose the limb for you to be able to replicate the limb?
Probably yes.
Damn it.
You can't just
Why did you
one
want
second
your
penis out of
limbs?
here, okay?
I just think it would be kind of funny.
Hypothetically, if you didn't need to lose the limb, I have the ability to graft limbs onto people, so like...
You just want to be a seven-tailed cat?
Grafton, Willie Grafton.
Anyway, thank you, Bye Dog, for the follow. It is greatly appreciated. My sheet prep is now finished for what I need
Yay!
to do. So clap, clap, hooray for me. I think, possibly.
Did you like our stalling tactics?
I did not. I thought they were very cursed.
You're a fucking bitch.
Yeah, and what are you gonna do
I'm
about
the
it?
bitch. Why are you so sassy?
I learned it
Sassy
from
man.
you.
You married him.
I know.
Smiles.
Frowns.
Alright, so congratulations, you have made your way over towards a large temple in the sand. It seems rather dilapidated in nature, but the moment you step through, despite all of the sands, it does seem relatively well kept. However, right before the major area of the temple, and what you could probably only hope would be the main entrance hall, stands a door. And the very center of that door is a small keyhole.
Well, does said keyhole appear to fit the key we have obtained? I'll just take it out and compare it.
I guess. Do you want to try it?
If I'm saying, okay, this looks roughly the equivalent size, then I'm trying it. If it's like nowhere near similar, then obviously not.
You take the key in your hand, you slide it into the hole, and you turn it clockwise until you hear a faint click, to which the door then opens. Unlike most doors that you're used to, where it would swing out, instead the door separates down the center, with one sliding up and one sliding down, just a little bit, only a couple centimeters, before separating as a whole. Go ahead and make a perception check. Just right.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so as soon as the door opens, you relax your hand and you start to try and put the key back into its compartment that you had it before, and you realize that your hand will not uncurl from the key.
Oh no.
You check your hand to see what has gone on, and you can tell, just from the emanations from around your palm, some kind of magical force is forcing you to clasp this key.
I'll turn around and I'll look for two people who look like magically savvy. I would say Lysandra and Locke. So we have a bit of reach. And I'll ask them if they have any idea why my hand is doing that.
Well, the two that you just called out can go ahead and roll for Knowledge Arcana.
I like how you didn't refer to the actual sorcerer here. I just find it kind of funny. I'm not offended by any means. I just think it's kind of fucking funny.
Yeah, by the way, I don't got good bonuses for this one, I gotta admit.
Sammy
I'm not
Sammy
magic
literally
or-
studies magical devices. It doesn't get called.
It is funny.
I do
Liku and Sammy are just gonna look at each other and kind of laugh.
Rosin can just take a 20 on this roll and immediately know something if he needs to. Isn't called.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry, I don't know your fucking shit.
That's like the two worst people for this job.
The only call out that is 100% acceptable is that Reich does know that Leiku is a sorcerer and decides to call the cleric instead.
I'm sorry.
Well, I thought Locke has arcane covered, so I was going for arcane and divine magic.
Sorry, buddy. I'm psionics. I don't do the Arcana anymore.
Leiku also has a detect magic spell. Like,
It just
seen
detects
her
magic,
use
doesn't
it.
it?
I can use detect magic.
Yeah, that just,
Not a
that just
skill
says
check.
something's magic.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't
Yeah.
tell
it
you
just says
anything
something's
else.
magical. Which, I mean, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that the magical dragon key is indeed magical without that spell.
I guess that's fair. I am proficient
Crazy.
in Arcana, but I think this is kind of funny. Tell us the result, funny man.
I don't know, are you gonna let me talk, or are you just gonna continue rambling?
I just
Alright.
asked you. Okay, bitch.
Locke,
Couple
as you
goals.
get close to Reich and begin examining the key that is now firmly in his grasp, wink wink, you can tell that it is some kind of extremely high compulsion magic that normally would not work under the circumstances that it would be used for, but due to the fact that it has been encoded with such a unique situation, the magic itself has increased in power. You don't entirely know why, or what for, but you can tell that the magic is mostly fucking with Reich's head, rather than anything else.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, I think this is just it messing with you, dude. This really is. I'd say this is just messing with your head. It's telling you you shouldn't let go. Apart from that, I don't see any reason why you can't let go.
Awesome. Hey, Doras, you're strong. Can you just yank this thing out of my hand?
I can try, sure.
Alright, Dadas, make a strength check.
Where's my strength at? Okay, here.
Oh, I want to see this one.
Let's see.
You grab the key, using your other hand to wedge your fingers underneath the Reich's in order to gain some leverage to try and pull the key out. But try as you might, nothing happens.
Hey, I have a question.
Damn, this is
Are
stuck.
you asking to ask a question?
Yes, I'm asking to ask a question.
Just ask the question, don't ask to ask a question.
I actually was just gonna ask it, but you've asked that 20 times, and I'm like, what is compulsion? Is compulsion an enchantment?
Compulsion is a type of enchanting spell, yes.
Oh, okay.
Why do you ask?
Well, because I could break those.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to try?
I mean, it literally says targets within range have any and all enchantment, transmutation, curses afflicting them automatically broken / removed.
Okay. So
Like, is
would
it
you like
special
to
and it's gonna
try?
not count as any / all?
Are you going to try?
Yeah, you know what? I'll try.
I've asked it thrice. What's the spell called?
Break enchantment.
Okay.
It's one of my,
It's a better
One of
version of
my
Remove
domain
Curse.
spells.
It's pretty nice.
It's one of my domain spells.
Hee hee hee.
I never get to use that.
You're welcome.
Alright,
That's
so
a good
for
thing,
each
don't
effect, you
jinx
must
us.
make a caster level check against a
Okay.
DC of 11 plus the caster level of the effect. Do you know what a caster level check is?
No.
It's the level
one
of your
bit.
casting. In other words, your
Oh.
character level.
So 14?
Yeah, so 1d20 plus 14.
Okay. 1d20 plus 14. Sure. Thanks.
You cast the spell trying to break the enchantment, and it does not work.
Okay. Cool.
You did
Love
not
that.
roll high enough in order to do so.
Yep.
I mean, how
Love that.
important is it to get out of your hands? I could just knock it out of you if you need it. I could try at least.
I mean, I'm a lot more useful with 2 hands, but I'm fine technically if... Well, if you have another idea, like, go
I
ahead,
do,
try
but
it,
It'll
please.
sting. I can
How
hit
much?
Would the key count as a magic device?
That's not how magic device works.
It'll hurt a bit. Cover your ears.
Oh no.
Right.
If this
And
doesn't
I
work the
just-
first time, I won't try it a second.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that. And I'll just slowly back away from the group as to not get anyone caught in the crossfire.
Rosin is going
Alright.
to use his Thunder Call performance. It throws a blast of air directly at him. He has to make a fort save. If he fails, he is stunned and he drops everything he's holding.
Okay. Fortitude save.
The DC is a 22.
It's a pretty high DC for right now.
Yeah, for me especially.
Yes! Did it work, Shane?
So, you blast him with the air, to which his body falls
Oh,
back.
you also take damage. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you might want to
Oh,
write
no.
down. You might want to type out the damage.
Let me roll that. But go on.
Oh, I'm gonna wait for the damage so that I can at least add that to the whole thing.
I'm pretty sure this doesn't get anything from Discordant Voice.
It's non-magical
defeat.
damage, so this counts as
Well,
magical
is that a yes or
damage.
no? Okay.
Yeah. It basically, if it's not from an actual weapon, Discordant Voice doesn't boost it.
that was my violin. I'm sorry.
Rosin plays a singular discordant tone. Reich explodes.
No.
So Reich, the blast of air knocks you back into the, at least a little bit deeper into the temple. We'll say, for brevity's sake, like 10 feet deep into it, considering how strong this blast is. And you find your hands flailing around, slapping against the sand, to which, Rosin, you do see his palm open in this instant before immediately closing afterwards and gripping the key again. However, you are free, both of you, Rosin and Reich, to make a perception check.
Oh, I'm sorry, lad. That usually works.
I don't think you hit him hard enough.
I
I think he hit me plenty hard.
Ouch.
Ouch. It's okay, the DC was relatively low. So, Reich, it is quite clear that just on this subconscious level, your body is forcing your hand to curl around this key. However, in that brief moment where you did let go of the key due to the force of the shockwave that hit you, both you and Rosin saw the key very slowly inching its way towards the entrance of this shrine. It wasn't a lot. It only moved, again, a couple of centimeters before your hand re-wrapped around it. But there was some very clear movement from the key leading towards the entrance of the shrine. As a matter of fact, as you stand back up, you do feel just the slightest of tugs from the key leading you back towards the entrance of the shrine.
Then I'll go back to the entrance and I'll try to like put it back in the keyhole without just turning it. Just
There is no keyhole. The door slid away.
okay.
But you do
Maybe
walk
you
back
go
to the entrance
inside.
of the shrine, and once you get back to the entrance of the shrine, specifically once you get past that line that designates the entrance of the shrine, you no longer feel the tug of the key, but your hand still firmly grasping.
Okay.
Right. Come here real quick.
I'll
Rosin
Get
is
over
going
there.
to cast Cure Serious Wounds on him.
Alright, go ahead and roll for that.
Wow. Not very good, but
That's more than enough. Thanks a lot.
yeah, sorry it didn't work.
Oh, well, it was a good attempt. I almost let go.
Of my life.
I don't
Not
think it was
that far
that bad.
yet.
It
It was a
looks
pretty good
severely
blow,
blown
like,
after like
I'm
30 damage.
impressed. Alright, so it seems this key wants to be somewhere here. And I'll just hold it out in front of me, turn it a bit, see if anything happens.
You look psychotic in front of your allies when you do that.
That's normal.
Is it pulling anywhere? Do you feel it kind of like a magnet would?
Well, it pulls to the entrance, but like now that I'm here, there's nothing. Not sure what it wants from me.
Maybe it's just telling you to go inside.
But I was already inside. It pulled me out again.
Huh.
I guess
Can
just
I
hope you need
detect
one hand.
magic?
I mean, we could probably regrow the hand, right?
I
off the
can't
hand.
regrow the hand, but
Yeah,
can I
cut it off.
detect magic,
Use a
please?
spell.
Yeah, go
I-
ahead
I-
and cast Detect Magic.
Okay, I cast detect magic.
On what?
Um,
It's not a catch-all thing where you just detect magic and I detail every single piece of information. You need to tell me
Yeah,
what you
no.
cast it on.
the entrance. I'm trying to see if there's like any magical signature that looks like the key.
Okay, you cast Detect Magic on where the entrance would be, and nothing shows up.
Okay.
Can you fight with one hand?
Yes, not very well, but
I guess we'll just have to pick up the.
I'll try to like walk up and down this boundary of the entrance and see if anything changes.
So you're just gonna walk in?
I was about to like walk on this border that denotes the entrance and see if anything like changes when I go along there.
No, nothing changes.
Okay, if there's nothing, then I'm just going in.
Is this temple dark?
No.
Okay.
And the reason why it's not is because the temple does not have a roof.
Oh. Oh, cool.
There are walls that line everything else, though. The floor is mostly sand, but there is no roof.
Oh, I guess I'll follow him in.
Is everyone
Yeah,
gonna walk
just
in,
go
though?
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, Reich, I need a strength check.
Oh boy.
Smiles.
Pure strength. Yep.
Okay. As you begin to walk deeper in on this particular floor, the tug and pull of the key back towards the entrance does gradually grow stronger. It's very faint and is hard to tell at first because of how gradual that climb is, but eventually you do feel your hand trail behind you just enough for you to alter your movements. You're not walking as fast as you normally would. Almost like you are dragging someone behind you. You're both walking at a normal speed, but you're now walking a little bit slower because you're pulling someone else's weight behind you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And just when this starts to reach that apex of curiosity, A Hyrioka Sphinx flies down, seemingly from nowhere, and rests atop a large rock. It stares down at the group, to which, after a couple of moments of silence, he says, "Welcome to Orvis's domain." Really, you're just not gonna say anything at all.
And Rosin will take a bow with a flourish, wondering why the two dragon-related people here aren't saying anything.
I was kind of
Sorry, I
waiting
was
for Drake to
just-
say something, but that's
I was
okay.
just
Khan's going to
writing-
bow.
Reich, seeing the rest of the people bow, is going to do the same, and he will just extend the greeting back.
What would you say?
Thank you for greeting us. We also greet you.
The Sphinx in question will give a small bow in return before examining and scanning all of you, to which he will say, "There is supposed to be a wormling with you, but I do not see them as the prophecy spoke. Could you please present them to me?"
Well, I guess Zamadu would be in Katan's hood as she normally. So he'll take out Zamadu
So
and
you,
lift her up like Simba.
to which Zamanu is just out cold, sleeping. So it's just this loaf of bread with their head hunched forward a little bit. Completely unbothered by the fact that she got taken out of the warm, because the desert is also warm. So she is comfortable here too. She's basically...
Is she asleep? Is she still asleep?
She's still asleep. She's basically this fat dog. Have you ever picked up a fat dog and their legs just kind of stay still? Just flat out, like their arms are, like their arms and legs are just stiff whenever you pick up a fat dog.
Oh no, she's in the honk shoo me.
Yeah, that's basically
She's
it.
in the mirror.
Except her head's now resting on her shoulder and she's snoring very softly. To which the Sphinx will look at the dragoness and go, a bit uncouth, but understandable. I can see now that this is your first dragon shrine. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Then welcome to your first challenge. You will be met with 5 riddles. Do not fail them, or there are consequences. This is your first. The more of me you take, the more of me you leave behind. What am I?
Out of character shame, I think I remember half these solutions. Should I stay quiet?
I don't give a shit, to be honest, but at least give Catan and Reich a chance.
Okay.
I am going to put a 2-minute timer on my phone for each of these that has now begun. Catan and Reich.
How many chances do we have? Is it only one?
I can't tell you that.
Okay.
I'll just ask the Sphinx. Sorry. Are we allowed to discuss this among ourselves, or do we have to entirely come up with this on our own?
The Sphinx does not answer, and yet you can still hear the sound of a ticking clock in the back of your head.
Oh, that's great.
Me IRL being like, I know this one.
Oh.
Do you
Yeah,
want to
this
go
makes
first?
sense. Yeah, sure. Catan will just he will raise his hand like he's in school, and he says, footsteps.
Why did you say that in a way like you went and looked it up?
Huh?
Or at least someone just told you?
Because I was trying to think of what would actually make sense. And then when I was doing so, because I like moving my hands,
Uh-huh.
it just started to make sense when I tapped my fingers against my thumb.
Rosin and Sammy just sitting here excited, but they want to let the other people have fun.
It's more like YGF and Oni. But the reason why I said that is because of the way that you said it. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Is it this? It just makes it sound like you either researched it or someone told you the answer.
Sorry, I don't know. It's like I have an inner dialogue. My inner dialogue, like, could it be this? I'm like, no, that sounds stupid.
You are correct.
Yay! I hate this so much. I hate riddles. I hate riddles. I hate riddles.
To which the Hyracus Sphinx simply nods before stretching their body and taking off and vanishing.
Sammy actually really loving riddles and having to keep quiet.
Are you sure it's Sammy and not Oni?
It's both.
So it's just Oni.
Rosin likes riddles too. Come on, that's not just YGF. Well, YGF's the reason why he knows the answer, but Rosin don't like riddles.
This is the worst excuse I've ever heard for. Yeah, my character definitely knows.
My character's excited. I know, but my character's excited still.
All right, so the Hyracus Sphinx has flown off. The path before you is more or less free to travel. Does the group wish to continue?
Yep.
Lead the way, lads.
Alrighty, Reich, you need to make another strength check. Alrighty.
Oh.
So, as you march your way past the stand of that Hyracus Sphinx, you find yourself deeper into this shrine, and as indication that the floor has ended, you see yet another wall before you, identical to the very first wall that you interacted with before you entered this shrine.
Is there also a keyhole?
If it's identical, what does that mean?
Okay. Then I will try to manage to get the key in there.
Alright, you slide the key into the keyhole, you turn the key, and as the door once again opens in much the same way, with one sliding a couple of centimeters up and one sliding a couple of centimeters down before sliding away from each other and vanishing from view, you feel the key get a little bit heavier. It doesn't start to drag you back just yet, but you can now feel the drastic increase of weight as you walk past that second barrier. Go ahead and make another strength check.
Do any of us notice the increased effort that's being made here?
Yes, all of you would be able to notice this. And you would all notice that as Reich starts to pass through that second barrier, after a couple of steps, his arm is flung out so much far behind him that it starts to actually drag him back like he's some kind of mime doing a show.
Oh, I love this trick.
Yeah, I don't. I think I've sprained something.
Rosin will step in to help to try to push him forward.
Alright, Rosin, go ahead and make a strength check.
Can I
The
try
top
to
will also
help
do
the
the
two?
same thing.
You can also make a strength check, and you can also make a strength check.
Sammy, do you have any concoctions that'll make him stronger?
Wait, I have something.
Do.
I have something.
Yes.
I have both strength math.
Ooh.
Well, I still need those strength checks before you cast that spell.
Mm-hmm.
The right channel? Okay, good.
Yeah, there.
Alrighty, so the three of you wrap your arm or hand or some kind of appendage around Reich's hand and forearm area and help him start to drag the key. And with the collection of the three of you helping Reich, dragging this key becomes a much easier endeavor. However, all four of you can still feel the key trying to pull its way back towards the entrance, though at the very least in this case, it's quite easy to keep it under control. As you are about halfway through this level, the exact same Hyrachus flies down, again seemingly from nowhere, landing atop a small perch that is halfway through this floor. It looks down at the group for a couple of moments before simply saying, "Can you name 3 consecutive days without using the words Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
This one's a
Friday,
joke.
Saturday, or
This one's a
Sunday?"
joke. This one's not a riddle. This is a joke. It's a funny punchline. Whatever.
Oh wait, I know this one.
I know it too. It's a joke. It's not whatever. I appreciate the thank you, Sphinx.
Thank you, Sphinx. Consecutive days. Without using the days.
A minute left.
We need Jeopardy music.
Nah, the sound
I
of the
would've
sleeping
hated
dragon.
that.
The sound of the sleeping dragon in the background's good enough for me.
We need that contest music that speeds up and gets increasingly off key that you use.
Yeah, I know, it's my favorite.
I think I know the answer, but I want the dragon people to have some time for it, of course.
Well, you have 38
Yeah.
seconds to answer. Better hurry
Okay,
up.
okay, hold on. I need to gather my thoughts.
Well, your thoughts only have 30 seconds to gather.
Shut the fuck up!
28 seconds. "15 seconds.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Yes.
The Hyrachus Sphinx simply gives a nod before flying off.
Oh, this is making me in character and out of character stress. I hate both.
This is fun.
And this is fun. How about you try answering?
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not allowed to.
Yeah, and it would be less fun to just answer.
Well, now that the Hyrachus Sphinx has fled, the four of you holding the key now need to make another strength check.
Am I ever gonna get to cast my spell?
You just declare it.
I've been trying!
Who are you
The,
casting?
the,
on?
you didn't. No. You weren't trying. You said, "I have a spell for this. It's called Bull Strength Mass."
But to be fair,
We
So
need
again-
contact clues here.
It's not context clues. Just be rude and declare what you want to do.
I want to cast my spell!
So you say, "I cast this spell on everyone."
I cast the spell on everyone.
This spell meaning the name of the spell.
Full strength mass. I
Come on,
cast
whole
on
thing.
everyone.
Be rude. Do it correctly.
Shane, shut up! I cast full strength mass on. Oh, fuck. Never mind. You guys don't get the spell anymore. I can't even say it.
What do we get? What does it do?
+4 enhancement bonus to strength.
Which means everyone gets a
Gets
+2
cast on
bonus to their
everyone.
strength check. That's what it does. So again, the four of you holding the key, go ahead and make a strength check.
Oh no.
Oh fuck! I forgot I had the bonus. Hold on, I forgot I had the bonus.
You already rolled.
Okay then.
Oh, fuck. There we go. That's the correct number. Alright. So, the four of you grip the key just a little bit tighter and start to drag the key towards the back of the second floor. And once again, there, you find yet another door, identical to the first two.
Yeah, same spiel. Unlock the door.
Alright. It's the same process as always. You put in the key, the door slides away from itself, and before you is a third floor. And the moment that you walk past that barrier between the second and third floor, the four of you, once again, need to go ahead and roll for a strength check.
Hey, Ross.
Yeah.
Aren't you sick of being nice all the time?
God.
Don't you want to go apeshit?
Sure. Always.
Rosin, as a free action, will start his Insight Rage performance onto Ross.
What does that do?
It makes him rage. You get a +2 bonus to Strength and Constitution, which is the +1 to the roll here. A +1 to Will saves, and a -2 to your AC.
So it's really
you
just a
won't-
+1 bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And you
Great.
won't be fatigued after, and if you have rage, it doesn't consume any of the rounds.
Thank you. I don't.
But this also means I could do saving finale. So if we fail, we might be able to redeem something here.
Isn't it only on one person?
Insight Rage, yes.
No, saving finale.
Also, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm waiting for your strength check.
How long does that bull strike last? I still have it.
Actually,
Yeah, it's like 14 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll last.
Alright, so that's 26, 35, okay. So the four of you pass through that barrier, and the key becomes much harder to drag. However, with some mild strain between all four of you, you do manage to continue to drag the key. And then once again, as you are about halfway through, this
God.
time, a cryosphinx is what flies out of the sky, landing atop a perch, staring down at the group before speaking their riddle. I always wax, yet always wane. I melt, succumb to the flame. Lighting the darkness with fate unblessed, I soon devolve into a shapeless mess. What am I?
I know this one too.
What? Yeah.
Like I said to Shane before, I remembered half of these. Apparently, I remember more than half.
I just want to say that you say this like a tiny little kid in a contest that can't wait to answer.
I am. I want to answer, but I'm not allowed.
Can you repeat yourself?
Sorry.
Always wax, yet always wane. I melt, succumbed to the flame. Lighting the darkness with fate unblessed, I soon devolve into a shapeless mess.
It's a candle.
You are correct.
Thank God. I was like, this has to be too literal, but I'm not gonna think about it anymore. Don't think, only duel.
The cryosphinx gives a firm nod towards Catan before flying off, and the four of you once again need to make another strength check.
What were you
Catan.
thinking?
Poor
I was
kid.
help
thinking,
them?
okay, this is a candle. No, this is way too easy. It can't be a candle.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But I was like, no, only my husband would make something so simple and make me overthink myself. It has to be
Like-
the first thing I think of.
All of these were really hard.
I also made a mistake. I can't use saving finale. It's only for saving throws. So,
Oh.
rip.
Alright, so 4 more strength checks. And
Locke
This-
is going to spend a minute using up my one free 4th level slot to make a potion of freedom of movement.
already, pretty sure freedom of movement just means that you can't get grappled.
Reading it, it's one of those that it mentions magical influence, so it might not work in the slightest, but
Yeah, let's
it's
see.
just one of those things worth a try.
Underwater, it's not grant water breathing. Yeah, it's if you are actively being impeded with your movement, to which this isn't impeding movement, it's trying to influence it, if that makes sense.
Fair enough, but it was an idea that I had, so I'll commit to it anyway. It, like you say, it won't work in this context, but I will, since I already mentioned it, I will use up the
It's
slot.
something that he would do anyway, so.
Yeah. Commit
Why
to a
are you
bit.
so mean to me?
What?
Stinky woman.
What?
What?
The fuck did I do, bitch?
That.
Oh, yippee!
Alright, so the four of you, reinvigorated with the fact that Catan managed to answer that question so easily and so quickly, march onwards, and despite the fact that the key is getting heavier and heavier and heavier, the four of you do manage to drag it to, once again, another door. And once again, I'm sure you're just going to insert the key and turn it, to which the walls slide away, and as you cross that barrier, once more, into the 4th floor, you have to make another strength check.
Okay.
The Sphinx said 5, right?
Yeah.
That was more Rosin at the party, but yeah, thank you for answering.
You are rolling exceptionally well.
Hooray.
So again, despite the fact that the key has become even heavier than before, all four of you manage to trudge on, though it is at this point that as you walk, you are leaving very sizable divots and footprints in the sand underneath you as you try and scramble for a footing as you drag this key. Eventually, as you come to the halfway point, a giant sphinx flies down, seemingly from nowhere, landing atop their perch, looking down at the group as they say, "I do not breathe, but I run and jump. I do not eat, but I swim and stretch. I do not drink, but I sleep and stand. I do not think, but I grow and play. I do not see, but you see me every day."
I actually don't remember this one. Oh well.
Not breathe.
Good luck.
I do.
Can we have
What
that
do you
one more
mean you
time?
remember this one? You weren't here last time.
I said I don't
know.
remember, and yes, I was.
I
Oh.
said Oni.
Oh, okay.
I know this riddle.
Can we hear that one more time?
Huh?
The riddle.
Can we hear that one more time? That's what.
I do not breathe, but I run and jump. I do not eat, but I swim and stretch. I do not drink, but I sleep and stand. I do not think, but I grow and play. I do not see, but you see me every day.
I'm gonna ignore the first half of those.
45 seconds.
Know the answer.
10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Legs?
Oh, there we go. Dismiss. The giant sphinx looks over at Catan before simply flying off as you continue your trial.
Leg.
Less and less sure of every single time.
What do
I
you
never would
mean?
have gotten that. I never would have gotten it.
Fucking hate those kinds of riddles. They give you unrelated information at the beginning. They try and fucking trick you. I fucking hate that.
That's the whole point of riddles.
I know! I hate riddles! I hate them! I hate them! I hate them! I hate them!
Just be happy we're not getting like fucking Hobbit riddles. There's like, what's in my pocket? Fuck off.
Now, that's not a riddle. That's just a fuck you.
Alright. So once again, the four of you need to make a strength check.
Am I able to cast a spell right now?
I don't know, are you?
My hands are occupied, are they? Or
What's your spell?
I want to use Moment of Greatness to give all allies within 50 feet the ability to double the morale bonus of one roll.
So instead of a plus,
If it's a morale bonus, I know Rosin is currently giving someone a morale bonus. I don't know what else's bonuses are.
Bull strength isn't a morale bonus, it's just a buff.
okay.
Well, then this only works on one person then. Whoops.
Great.
I mean, you can just choose not to cast it.
I could choose not to cast it, but why would I not cast it when I could cast it and make it
Okay.
easier? It's like the first level spell. I got 7 of these babies. I could rock this.
Well, the four of you need to make a strength check anyway.
You may double your bonus here.
You may double your one.
Yay!
Yay.
Okay.
Yay.
So that means it is.
Oh, almost.
I think I'm doing pretty good for a character who has shit all for fucking strength.
Why are you rolling a +7?
Because my strength is a +3.
Were you not paying attention to anything that was just said in the past 30 seconds?
You said I could double the morale bonus.
And I said that the bull strength is not a morale bonus.
Oh, I did not hear that. Okay.
That's so funny. You would have had a 22.
Let's see. Alright, so as the four of you attempt to march onwards, you can see the next door before you. However, as you get within, I'll say, 5-10 feet of the door, it seems that the four of you slowly start to lose your grip as your strength begins to wane while holding this key. To the rest of you, you are effectively watching four people walk in place because this key now has enough pull in the opposite direction to offset their strength.
Lysandra, can you help a little? Please? Rosin's sweating.
Can I
but
help
she
a
as
little?
hard as she can. Lysandra's just been walking next to us this whole time, just watching.
Yeah, I tried to ask if I could help like 2 checks ago, but
Give
I
me
was
a hand,
ignored.
please, Lysandra.
I
This
will
is
help
very
you.
difficult.
How would
I
you
will
like
help.
to help? Again, just stop asking for permission. Just say you want to
I
do
literally said I would like to help.
it. You didn't. You said, "Can I help?" It wasn't until after Rosin said it again that you said, "I want to help." I'm just reminding you. Don't ask.
I would like.
Just
I
say
would
that you
like
want
to
to.
help.
How would
I
you
would
like to help?
With my hands.
As in, are you trying to grab the key and drag it to, or are you trying to push the key? Are you casting a spell? How would you like to help?
Yes, I would like to help drag the key with them.
Okay, so that would be another strength check.
Okay.
Alright, Lysandra, You wedge yourself into this collective group of individuals, grabbing the key, and with your strength, although it is quite difficult, you do manage to help them drag it closer and closer to the door, helping them sink the key into the keyhole, turning the key, and then when the door slides away, you find yourself on the 5th floor. So now all 5 of you need to make a strength check.
Okay.
Rawson, can I cast spells while raging from your thing?
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, I
Does
think
it
they
count?
reduce your concentration, right?
It counts as a barbarian's rage, as you described, and barbarian rages do not allow you to do any form of concentration, which does include casting spells.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I am too angry to
That is-
think. Me just push.
And I also forgot to cast that other spell again. Whoops.
Alrighty, with the nat 1 coming from the key holder itself, Reich, you slip. And due to the fact that you slip and therefore don't have the capacity to add your strength to this key pool, everyone else starts to be dragged behind you as you are slowly, and soon to be quite rapidly, brought back across the previous floor. We have Locke and Sammy as the only 2 left who can attempt to intervene. What are you
Wait,
gonna do?
no, my puppet.
Yes, you can.
I want my puppet to help.
Oh, there's also the Poppet and Hissy.
Yes.
But what is it that you would like them to do? Because, like I said, you were
want the puppet
rapidly
to
sliding
push.
across the floor. You want the
Puppet
pop.
push.
The Poppet jumps in the way and attempts to push. All right, so the Poppet needs to make a strength check.
Hissy is also going to do the same.
All right,
Can
then
my
Hissy.
puppet be affected by spells? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, and then Hissy also needs to do a strength check.
Yes. In fact, he's going to then activate his Greater Dire Caller. Leiku will get off of him for this portion.
You
And
want
a
to be
strength
technical,
check.
it's Leiku activating the collar, not Hissy.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, Leiku would be activating the collar then. Just
So
a base
Hissy
strength.
goes from meow to thump.
Yeah. He gets big.
Alright, so the Poppet attempts to stand in the way, putting their arms forward in order to try and act as some kind of barrier. And while it does slow the descent, it doesn't actively stop them from moving, so the Poppet is slowly dragged into the sand. Hissy then steps in the way and goes, meow, before boom, plumping up to literally twice his size, and everyone simply collides into his big, fat, fluffy body. Meow.
But they're no longer sliding back. Right?
Correct, they are no longer sliding back.
Okay.
We should try to regain our footing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll use that opportunity to get back up.
So you all regain your footing, and, is the robot and Hissy now also helping with moving this key?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, then that is all 7 strength checks, please.
Hissy's
Then
going to try and
don't
help charge
forget he
them
gets
forward.
The bonus. Well, actually, if she was on him, does he get the bonus? Because I have to. Does Hissy count as a separate character when Leiku uses him as a mount?
Yes. Because it
Yeah.
says
Okay, then yes,
creatures.
Hissy gets the bonus.
Okay.
So Ross, do you want me to end the rage effect? I can if you like.
Duras already
I mean, I already rolled
unfortunately.
next time.
Okay,
Oh,
fucking
oh,
poppet! Now you decide to do something.
You created a Terminator.
I did.
Alright, so with the collective effort of all of you, especially the Poppet, who has seemed to have gained and gathered their footing, you push and pull this key back across that barrier from the 4th and 5th floor, to which it legitimately feels like the weight of this key straight up doubles. And as you struggle through the sand, pushing it forward with the sun beating down on you, an Androsphinx flies in from seemingly nowhere, landing atop a perch, looking down at the group, and says, With potent, flowery words speak I of something common, vulgar, and dry. I weave webs of pedantic prose in an effort to befuddle those who think I while time away in lofty things, above all day the common kind that linger where monadic beings live and fair. Practical I may not be, but life, it seems, is full of me.
Riddles.
What am I? God damn it.
Buddy, that one was an easy one.
Damn it.
you can't even say damn it
You
on
said
that one.
practical, I may not be. I'm like, okay, I already know what the fuck this is.
Even if I'm
You can't
wrong,
even be
what's
mad
fair?
about
Just
that
make a
one.
point.
Alright, you know what? Fine. One last strength check, you little
No!
buttholes.
Ton, and then Hissy.
Oh, hey, me!
Hey.
Yo! I Determinator now.
Alrighty, so that's plus 16, 22. Oops. 22. 29. Oh, yep, that's 16. Okay, so once again, you drag this key, and now, with the help of Lysandra, effectively pulling most of this weight, you finally make your way all the way to the end of this 5th floor. Till once again, you see another door. You insert the key, turn the handle, and when the door slides open, all of the weight and exertion from this key immediately disappears.
We all fall over.
Pretty much, yeah. You all immediately fall to the ground due to the instant dissipation of the weight and magical strength that this key once had. And as the door opens and you all start to lift your heads up from the floor, you see a massive, massive dragon staring down at you. Give me just a moment so that I can send in the art, which is... Where are you? It's there.
Sammy just goes to the group. You alright?
Hold on.
Sorry to whoever has Poppet fall on them, guys. Like, yeah, if you need healing,
How
let me
heavy
know.
is Poppet?
Poppet's pretty fucking heavy. He's made out of, like, metal and shit.
Anyway,
Yeah,
since
hi.
all I said was I'm just trying to find the image, but thank you for not waiting.
Sorry.
The dragon stares down at all of you, to which you can feel this strong, palpable sense of fear and terror. And while that never really goes away, it does lessen as the dragon begins to speak. And you can swear that you see this slight smile on the dragon's lips, to which the dragon says, "Oh, well, isn't this a delight? It's been an extraordinary amount of time since I've had visitors. How are you? How's the weather? How was the trial? What brings you here anyway? Learn anything new, exciting, or valuable? Oh, I forgot. My name is Orvis Byrazoan, All Lord of Kelmor. Please, come on in, and maybe, just maybe, I can give you the reward for showing your valor, for making it this way through the shrine."
Roswell, get up and dust himself off. Was there another way?
Refine your question.
We came into the shrine this way. Was there another way?
I mean, yes. Not for you, but yes.
Ah.
Well, all of you don't be so shy. You're meeting a dragon.
Like, who's vibrating?
With all due respect, my lord, we're meeting a dragon. It's understandable we'd be perhaps a little shy.
Intimidated? No. You haven't met my sister. Or my cousins. They're far more intimidating than I. I'm just big. And green.
Well, I never said intimidated, I said shy, but true.
Being shy is being intimidated, my dear.
Are you being a smartass with the dragon?
It's how she copes. Let her have this.
Leiku's gonna look
anyways.
between the dragon and then at Zamanu and then back at the dragon, and she goes, that bread can one day turn into this.
To which Orvis responds, once again smiling with their lips, saying, well, yes, part of the shrine's blessing is that little Zamanu there is going to grow rather rapidly into our size.
Oh.
What, were you not told the prophecy nor the fate of the world that hangs in the balance?
No, not at all. Leiku just sits
Nope.
down.
Eagerly
we're
sits
aware of.
down. To which Orvis smiles quite wide at this and lays on the ground so that their head touches the floor so that he can at least try and be eye level with Leiku. And he goes off on this 2.5-hour tangent about this prophecy without actually detailing the prophecy. He starts going off about Terra, the conqueror of Telduria, and how when they came into being, they were destined for greatness, and all of these prophecies were made about how those that are related to the Terra bloodline are destined to do great things. And just another 1.5 hours of explanations, to which one of those, surprisingly enough, involves Kelnal. The great unifier, Yondu, is related to Terra. He also reveals that Terra and Yondu are not actually their first names, it's their last names and their titles, more than anything else, but that their real names, respectively, are Rune and Runic.
Sammy just jotting all of this down in her notebook. How do you spell that?
You know how to spell Runic.
Hey, there are some people who spell it with a K. It's a fair question.
That is the only
None of
way
us
that
are
you
British.
spell it. Runic
No?
is always spelled with an N-I-C-K. Always when it's used as a name.
I've seen NIC and NIK.
I don't want to hear anything about the spelling of names from the guy who spells Kane the way he does.
Oh.
I'm sorry that you know improper ways to spell the word.
I'm sorry that I've read-
C-A-N-E.
It is only C-A-I-N or K-A-N-E.
Yeah, well, we're not being
yeah, I
biblical
love-
here.
Well, then K-A-N-E.
No, it's a C. What do you mean?
That's an object.
Took me
Would you
months to get
prefer that I
right in the
spell
first
with a
playthrough.
Q instead and Q-A-N-E for Kane?
That would be funnier, actually. that would trip me up less, because I would remember that more often.
Oh boy.
But, seemingly, as this conversation, entirely one-sided conversation, drags on, you can all feel the sun slowly setting behind your backs. To which he eventually caps it all off with saying that those that are descendant of Terra and have strong draconic ties to their blood, in other words, if Terra's blood is a bit more prominent than the rest of the muddy water that flows through their veins, if they were to visit the dragon shrines, they would all be gifted boons. And usually, more often than not, though not always the case, that individual is gifted a draconic companion for several reasons. The first is so that they have a friend to talk to. The second is so that they eventually have a strong battling companion to fight side by side. And the third is for a mating partner to continue the bloodline. To which the dragon then slowly turns his head towards Catan and Reich and looks between the both of you back and forth a couple of times and says, "It is almost entirely unheard of for two individuals to showcase that bloodline. Which one of you is supposed to get Zamanu?"
Catan will look down at Zamanu, the bread he's holding in his hand,
Who's
and
still
look over
asleep.
at Reich, then at Zamanu, and hold Zamanu out to Reich and like, I'm already married.
What the hell?
Did you not hear what he said?
That is a whole damn child. I'm not.
She's not
Procreating
technically a
with
Zamanu's
child.
very old.
Zamanu's older than either of us, older than our parents. Go.
I don't
Is-
care. Look at it.
Or
Look at her.
Orvis
She's a
nods
grumpy old
along.
woman.
Orvis nods along and does reiterate, yes, she is, I would say, about half as old as I am, which means, considering I know the original color of dirt, she most certainly is older than all of you. I can understand the trepidation with the fact that she is quite child-sized, but did you miss what I said about how after several dragon shrines she rapidly grows?
Yeah, this does not make it any less weird.
She is still hundreds of years old. She won't actually stop talking about it.
But Reich, think about it like this. Couple more shrines, big old dragon mate, I'm just saying.
That was the very last thing on the list of many, many things. You don't have to think about
many,
that right
many
now.
things, the three things?
There's companionship, there's also battle companionship first. You could worry about the last one later.
Oh, she didn't mean mate as in like the sexual, she meant like having a mate, like having a bud, a partner.
No,
No, I
Not
didn't.
really the first thing I think of when I hear the word
you
mate.
can't continue your bloodline with a little buddy.
Orvis does clarify that they don't have to like each other, but that is the intent.
Orvis? My lord Orvis?
Yes, it is pronounced Orvis.
Lysandra points to the bread. Is it possible that these two aren't the one that's supposed to be with Zamanu?
I don't see why not. She is
Well-
here, which means that she is hatched, which means that it has to be one of them.
Well, when Zamanu hatched, she said that it wasn't Catan, because Catan didn't have the right aura, but like a family aura. And then when Zamanu was put in front of Right, she also said it wasn't right. Does Zamanu
Oh, that's
know?
true.
Or is this like, is she just mistaken because she's so young and tired after coming out of her egg?
No,
It's not
she would
young.
never be mistaken. She probably
So-
found something that was close enough to hatch, which explains why she's not being particularly talkative now. And then, like a small silence as you just hear the faintest of snores from Zamanu.
The mirror.
So does she just settle then?
To which Orvis slowly turns towards Lysandra and says, "The prophecy is never wrong. If it's not one of those two, that it's someone else that's a part of the family."
But they're not here, right? I mean, obviously they would have come in here with us.
I don't
Do
know.
they have to go through the dragon shrine?
For what? To get blessed? Yes.
Yes. To be able to be with Zamanu.
Orvis will stare at Lysandra for some time, and then his head will slowly turn away from Lysandra,
Okay.
back towards Catan and Reich. And he will say, "I don't have to explain the obvious to you, do I?"
Catan will look down at Zamanu and go, "No, I don't think so." Does she have to stick with one person consistently, or?
Again, prophecy is never wrong. She hatched, probably because she thought she was correct, and then upon closer examination, found that she wasn't. If we were to say that you need to find a 45-degree angle on a shape, I'm sure the both of you would be able to eyeball that pretty easily. You both know what a 45-degree angle looks like, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But if you were then to closely examine that 45-degree angle with whatever tools you desire to use, and you discover that it is instead a 46-degree angle, how would you feel? It still
Honestly,
looks
not
like a
too bad.
45-degree angle,
Yeah.
but that entire decision would be up to her. Regardless of who you are, your bloodline will still give you the same blessing. The shrine will still give her the same blessing. Orvis then tilts his head and says, "But if you two don't match that aura that she is claiming, then why is it that you two are the ones that have her?"
So I've actually talked to Leighton, and he had a theory on that. He said that maybe right now nobody is the correct person, but we may yet become the right person.
Orvis shakes his head. No. Aura doesn't change like that. No response to that statement.
Well, I was waiting to see if there was any more conversation, because I was about to say, as he's speaking about, as Reich is recounting his conversation with Leighton, I'm pretty sure Catan would be trying to wake up Zamanu so that Zamanu can say hi.
Oh, okay.
Wake up, you little shit.
Just roll a flat d20 there.
Yeah, like it's just kind of he's looking at this loaf of bread and like, sure, she's sweet, but it's also kind of rude to not say hello.
Shake the baby.
Alright, so you gently nudge Zamanu, to which she whines and complains about being woken up. And as her eyes lock with Orvis, her body starts to forcibly rotate in your palms until her feet are planted firmly on the floor, to which she now looks more like a bulldog with the way that she stands up, with her head or her mouth pointed towards the floor a little bit and her eyes pointed up towards Orvis. She goes, "Hello, Uncle."
It's like Missile.
She goes, "Hello, Uncle." To which Orvis says hello in return, and the both of them go back and forth talking in Draconic, to which, who knows Draconic again?
Rosin
Catan.
does.
Me.
Me.
Almost everybody but Sammy.
And Leiku.
I don't.
And the cat.
Does Locke know Draconic?
I do not.
Yeah, Locke knows Draconic.
So, not Leiku, not Dadas, and not Sammy, and not Hissy. Alright, so those of you who do know Draconic, you hear these two effectively go back and forth, and it's your average family reunion fanfare stuff, where Orvis effectively is simply asking how Zamanu is doing, how her mom is doing, and everything along those lines. The usual uncle stuff of, oh, are you continuing your studies, and Zamanu being a sassy little butthole in return. bragging about her age and about how she doesn't need to study anymore, to which Orvis will effectively counter by saying that there's more to life than a simple education, and that you should be learning things more or less every single day, to which Zamanu complains about the way that Zamanu complains about everything.
And Catan will probably butt in at that point and go like, I've been trying to tell you that every day.
To which Orvis will nod along and go, you know, you should listen to your master. To which Zamanu would just go, ah.
Catan will then close her snout shut.
Orvis, now speaking in common, does look between Catan and Reich and says, regardless on whether or not she is correct in the chosen partner, the prophecy still will always be correct. She can only be a companion to one of you. If both of you are in the same boat and going towards the same goal, that's fine. I know the both of you have mentioned family. Even if your family is in the same boat or rowing against you in these tides of life, she can still only be attached to one. So I think the both of you need to discuss and figure that out. You may talk with your friends in the meantime. And he slowly gets up, hunkering back onto his feet, groaning like an old man, will go and prepare the shrine, to which he then turns around and starts to walk away.
Leiku, not wanting to interrupt anything that was happening, finally speaks up now, saying, wait, what was the original color of dirt?
That's what you're hung up about?
Well, everything you guys already spoke of and you essentially concluded. I just didn't want to interrupt you. But what was the original color of dirt?
Zamani looks over at Leiku and says he was telling a joke. It's his favorite joke to tell.
What if it was blue? I think I would like dirt if it were blue.
Zamani, under no certain terms, says out loud, I think you're retarded.
Fireball.
Is it, you want to work on a drag?
Probably not, honestly.
just damage everyone in the room except the one target.
Just shove your hand in her mouth, then cast fireball. See what happens.
I'm gonna be honest, I may have zoned out for a little bit there.
I'm gonna be honest, you what?
I may have zoned out for a little bit there. Is Reich married to a dragon now?
That's what's being discussed, I think.
Yes,
Look.
would you like to take care of her, or shall I?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I'm a good choice for this. Like, what's your opinion on this? Do you?
Catan's ears will flatten. I never thought I would become a father at any point in time ever.
You already have one kid adopted.
You have
What's
two
the second
children.
one?
That's what I'm saying. I never thought I would have ever become a father at any point in time after realizing the situation I was in. Now I am. And now, miraculously enough, I'm actually getting married.
What is Vivi up to right now?
Vivi is back at the castle, probably trying to read as many books as possible.
Catan would have probably wanted to get Vivi to come along because, you know, this is part of his quest and he likes involving his kid, but then he would have looked at the desert and went, no, you're staying in there.
Actually,
That's all I'm saying.
in all honesty, Vivi is probably unconscious.
Why would she be unconscious?
Because the night before was the festival, and this would probably be the first time that Catan would like let go of the reins and say, Vivi, you can do whatever you want, and Vivi would have just sprinted off and spent a full 24 hours indulging in the entirety of the festival and or draining her own wallet on whatever she could find, and most likely came back in the morning when everyone else was waking up and is now just out like a light.
That's fair.
Yep.
An important
Starting
lesson.
to drink at 12 with a parental consent. This is just like home.
Germans, goddamn.
I didn't think I would ever be in a position like this in my lifetime ever.
Well, fate has its ways of playing tricks on us, doesn't it?
Yeah. I say I'm kind of done with it.
Look, at this point, one of you needs to pick, or we'll just make you do rock, paper, scissors. She's gotta go with somebody.
Katan's married.
I feel it's inappropriate to.
I agree with that reasoning.
rock,
Katan's
paper,
married.
scissors about the fate of a living creature.
We should ask Zamanu. Zamanu.
Yes.
And we turn over to her and she's probably fallen back asleep.
No, Zamanu is very calmly and rather comedically looking between the both of you, but the way that she does it, because she can't really turn her head due to her size and fatness, so she just waddles, turning herself by waddling back and forth between the both of you.
You know what we should do to make this decision easier? We should put Zamanu on the floor and then we both walk in separate directions.
Zamanu is not a baby. Zamanu is a sentient creature older than any of us.
Yeah, and Zamanu can make the decision.
I don't think that dragon's going to make a decision. I think that dragon will kill up and go to sleep if you put it on the floor.
She responds with
dog trick.
She responds with, "No, I won't. Floor's cold."
Okay, cool. And both of us are warm creatures. This should work.
I'm not choosing either of you.
I thought so.
Do you not care who you end up growing beside, or?
It's not my choice.
I don't know, I feel like a pretty important decision.
I mean, Zamanu didn't say it wasn't important, just that it's not her choice.
Well, I would still like to give her the choice.
Well, she doesn't seem to want to take it or be able to.
It will be at this point that Zamana will say, in order to make both of you to force a choice. And then she hunkers down, sitting on the floor like a cat. I will attach myself to this cold floor. And in about 1 hour, I will have hypothermia and die.
That is not how that works. The floor is also not that cold.
It is freezing. I am now developing
No, it is-
hypothermia.
That is not what
Catan, right,
hypothermia
hurry.
is.
We only have an hour.
Everybody else is being dramatic about it.
So,
Can't you see
Catan and Mike are
she's
just standing
freezing to
there.
death?
Dying.
Are you just going to abandon her to her
Zamana
icy
is just
fate?
consistently laying on the floor making the blah.
My vote
Okay,
is
alright, well-
is Reich, if my vote even matters.
Katan's just gonna turn to Reich and go, look, I don't really mind either way.
well,
So,
Well, I mean, if you want to ask everyone else's opinion, you may.
Orvis did say that.
yeah, we could
Yeah.
do that.
fair enough. We should, like, guys, what's your opinions?
You should take it.
How about we
Why?
go down the list top to bottom? We will start off with Didas.
Oh god, I gotta go first. I don't know. Reich, just take it. Catan is married. Just take one for the team here. I don't know.
Super Ross's got it.
So that's your reasoning. Katana's married, so therefore take the child, which has no bearing on marriage.
I mean, the child that is going to be not a child at some point.
Okay. Locke.
I mean, everyone keeps saying that Katana's married. The way I hear it, there is a wedding planned, but nothing is official. There shouldn't be a bearing.
Things could change.
However, However, we could have a dragon in the party. You could have a new best friend that breathes fire. Though, counterpoint to my own thing, Leiku may try to steal your dragon when it reaches full size.
Lehu scoffs. I would never.
She
I may
would.
examine just every once in a while.
She 100% would.
I may or may not pick up shedded scales, however.
It's
That is
not
not
stealing as
covered.
long as you give it back after.
Exactly. Besides, he's a handful. Leiku then pats Hissy like as if he's a sedan.
So, Locke, which one is your
Honestly,
choice?
I say Reich takes the dragon
And what is your reasoning
for
there?
no specific reason other than I think it'd be cool if there's a dragon with you, and you know. I
So
mean,
this is more of a selfish reason because he's on your team, and you just think it'd be cool if there was a
That
dragon
is
following
awesome.
you
Yes,
around.
this is exactly what I want from the Thieves Guild. This is perfect.
I do kind of think having, you know, a person with a partnered dragon as part of the guild will be useful.
This would be great for my
I
mom's
genuinely
business.
love this reasoning. I love this. I wanted this from Group B this whole time, this whole campaign.
I love I've based reasoning.
So yeah, I say that Reich takes the dragon because it's good for business. So that's my thought.
Alright, then we move to Lysandra.
I think I just have the same reasoning as everybody else. Is just Katan's already almost married, dude, and this little bun thing is gonna grow up and expect to, you know, have babies. Best she doesn't expect that from Katan. Otherwise, I guess you have to explain that to Rose. You know?
Zamato's immediate response to this is, I think babies are gross.
Well, you might not think about that later, so, you know? Okay, look. Thinking about this logically, right? Just take her, and then if it turns out that you two are really not the one she's supposed to be making babies with, you don't have
I'll
to
be right
worry
back.
about it.
I'll be right back in the middle of that.
Okay. Bye, Rosin.
Fair. Honestly, fair.
You know, again, just if it turns out that, you know, you're not the one she's supposed to be making the babies with, you don't have to worry about it. And if you do, then maybe having her along for the ride will make you more amenable to it. You know? That's my reasoning. Right takes Yeeter. Pick up the little loaf. Unfortunately, no Rosin, be right back. Well, I got this. Ready? Alright, lasses and laddies. Is this Scottish? I'm trying to do a pirate accent. I think Reich should take her because, ye old Catan is married. Can't sail a ship into a port that's already closed.
I don't
Right.
understand this metaphor.
Don't ever use that metaphor again.
I tried, you be right back.
Womp womp. Without fail. Every single time someone mentions, you know, you're supposed to be making babies with her, Zamano grows more and more annoyed and uncomfortable, making worse and more exaggerated expressions.
While
Oh,
dying on the
poor
floor of
Zamano.
hypothermia.
Yeah, dying on the floor from hypothermia, true. Rosin, what is your choice? What do you think? Who do you think Zamano should go with?
Alright, should take Zamanu.
And what is your reasoning there?
Katan's already got a lot of responsibility on his plate. He's got a wife to be, and a daughter. And you guys should make a decision quickly, because we don't want this getting in your family's hands, do we?
And Sammy, what is your choice?
As much as I understand everybody's point of, Katan's about to be married, the whole thing, we've also had Zamanu so long, and it would feel weird giving up the loaf when she's been a part of the group.
So we have 6 people voting for Reich, and 1 person voting for Katan. Got it. I think Reich wins.
Yep. I just go over to Zamanu and put her in my backpack.
As you put her in the backpack, a couple of moments of silence go by, and then immediately after she says, "It's cold in here."
Do you want me to light the charcoals?
Oh my god, Katan's going to then take out Zamanu and then shove Zamanu inside Reich's shirt like she wants warmth. Also, don't overfeed her.
You mean like you did?
I didn't do that. That was entirely Kane's fault.
Zamanu actually...
She's turned half-bred.
Zamanu does corroborate on this and says, yes, Uncle Kane gave me food. The food was very good.
Okay.
All Kane, it wasn't me. Don't overfeed her. She likes spicy food, if only because of warm. But please try and have her expose herself to other things.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Hey Zamanu. What do you think about boot camp?
What does camp have to do with boots?
Oh right, you weren't in the military. I
does
just
the
kinda
military
assume
have
that
to
by
do with
default
camp?
now. Yeah, so basically that is where they turn like regular people into soldiers.
I'm not a person, I'm a dragon. I'm already better than you.
Yikes.
You know what? I'm making training extra hard on you, fuck you.
Ew.
Not like that. You absolute creature.
You're the one that said it.
And you're the one that misinterpreted it.
Zamanu, can you please stop being a little brat?
This person cursed at me. I don't like them very much.
You know what, actually, this is the perfect first lesson for you in step 1 on how to take care of Zamanu. Just shove her into your shirt.
Great. I just take off my hood and like put her in the hood.
You put her in the hood, and after a couple of moments of silence, you hear, warm. Followed by light snoring.
I doubt that's warmer than my backpack, but sure.
Clearly the backpack is cold.
You know, I think Zamanu's perception of warmth is a little bit off.
I think you just need to learn about how Zamanu acts. So have fun dealing with a contrarian tsundere lizard.
Achievement.
Congratulations on the fatherhood.
Oh wait, that means I have to move Zamanu on this picture here.
Oh, this is sad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
here
hold
it
on.
goes.
Hold on, where's Zamanu? Gotta try and find Zamanu.
Goodbye, Zamanu. We'll miss you.
That's Hissy, right?
Make her do a loop-de-loop.
Oh, there's Zamanu.
You'll see her like every day.
Wee. Oh.
A very sad cutscene.
A very sad
On a lower
cutscene.
layer.
It's on a lower layer. It makes me depressed.
Is she at least above the table?
Okay, and then I have to transform, flip horizontal. Yeah, that's a perfect place for her to sit.
Yep.
Well, as the conversation eventually dies down, Orvis comes back, and he hears the last couple of words being said and everything else. To which he complains. He goes, darn, I missed a good conversation, didn't I?
Honestly, it wasn't that good.
All conversation is good. What do you mean?
I mean, I have a very different perspective to you.
Well, your perspective is probably incorrect.
I 100% assumed you to say that.
Well, you're not a dragon, so you don't understand what it's like to have a horde.
Leiku will gasp. Is your horde conversations? Or words?
Conversations, but yes. An esoteric horde, but one that I enjoy nonetheless.
Ooh. That is so cool. Leiku's then gonna look down at Zamanu and point at the Zamanu and go, her horde is warmth.
No,
At least right now.
she doesn't have a horde yet. She will develop it once she is an adult. She will simply have this undying knack to try and find something that fills the void.
Okay.
Sometimes it may be something tangential or tangible. Sometimes it may be something in related to their parents or the ones that they have grown up with the most. Sometimes it'll be something like mine, where it is entirely esoteric. In the case of a couple of dragons, sometimes it's just a hobby that is gotten entirely out of hand.
Oh, you mean like the people who collect these tiny clay statuettes and play military simulations with them?
We did have a dragon like that at one point, yes. They died of starvation.
Yeah, no, that
Why?
checks out 110%.
Those little clay figures are expensive, I hear.
Yep.
We just found him one day in his basement, curled up into a ball. His son is
Well-
also very interesting. He's a botanist.
At least he died doing what he loved.
You might want to be careful in that phrasing.
So in a way, a dragon's horde, if not
Also for it.
under the right care, can become their undoing, like an obsession.
All hordes are obsession.
Oh, I guess that's. Dragons are.
You cut off there.
I was just muttering to myself. Dragons are so cool.
Yeah,
Smile.
smile. Are all of you ready?
Yes, time to get blessed.
He walks back in, motioning for everyone to follow. And as you are all walking into the shrine, he says, "Thank you, by the way, for sating my long-awaited desire for mild companionship communication." All right,
Oh, no problem.
so everyone that is here, which is just literally all of you plus Hissy. So everyone that's here, with the exception of Catan and Reich, get the following bonus. You get a +1 stat to any stat of your choice.
Ability
Does
score?
Poppet get it?
Okay.
No, because Poppet's not alive.
Okay.
+1 stat to any stat of our choice.
Correct. So, in order, that means Leiku and Hissy, Dadas, Lysandra, Rosin, and Sammy can pick a singular stat and then increase it by 1.
Where can we notate this down on our sheet?
You do not need to.
Okay.
Just increase the stat score by itself by 1.
Okay, then just for record's sake, so I can hear it myself on the VOD, I am going to increase Leiku's charisma by 1 And for Hissy, I'm going to increase his constitution by 1.
Alrighty. And Dudas, what about you?
I'll go with Dex to make it even, to make it 18.
Alrighty. What about you, Locke?
I have upped my intelligence to give myself 24.
Alrighty. Lysandra.
My wisdom.
Alrighty. Rosin.
Charisma.
And Sammy.
I upped my charisma.
Alrighty. So now we get to Catan and Reich. So you need to annotate a couple of things on your sheet. The first is that on that sheet, you need to go down to where your dice rolls are, and you need to effectively make a brand new row, to which Dragon Disciple. It's gonna vaguely look like this on your sheet.
Okay.
Let me go to general. Oh, I'm not gonna go to general. Let me go to the bot channel and send it here in the bot channel. So it'll look like that. You're just gonna tab over and mark it off.
Okay, dragon. And on. Okay.
Now, it does need to say Dragon Disciple 1, because since there are 10 Dragon Shrines, you can go from Dragon Disciple 1 to Dragon Disciple 10. The 12 is the HP roll, which I'll get to that in a moment. Okay.
Okay.
Then, at the top, you do need to mark it off as a class, but you're going to put that marked notation in brackets so that it looks like this. You will not change your character level, you will not change your class level, you're just going to add in brackets Dragon Disciple 1 at the top.
Okay.
Okay. This is to note, and this is basically to note and annotate for me, the DM, because I do have to hide some minor things from you in relation to how these bonuses and benefits and boosts go, just so that I can keep track of them just a little bit more securely. So, from the top down, you do gain 12 HP plus your Constitution modifier, which means Catan, you gain 16 HP, and Reich, I don't know what your con mod is. I think it's a 3.
Yeah,
right?
it's a 3.
So you gain 15 HP, just immediately right off the bat.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's actually this. So this is not bad.
Okay. The next thing that happens is that the both of you get a +1 bonus to your natural armor. Now, if I recall correctly, Catan already has a bonus to his natural armor. Actually, I think both of you.
Bloodline.
Yeah,
Yep.
both of you. So
I
both
also
of you
have a
should already
+2.
have it marked off on your sheet as like +2 bloodline. Today, what you're going to put beside that is +1 Dragon Disciple. So, so that it looks like copy and paste. So that it looks like this, basically.
Okay. All right. Let me just adjust the AC in turn.
True.
4 for gore. There you go.
You were
Okay.
then going to do that same exact bonus to your fortitude and will. So it'll look,
Fortitude save and will save.
so it'll look like this.
Okay, got it.
Fortitude, will. Okay.
Okay. I changed the numbers there too. What's next, man?
You now get to add the following class skills to your sheet if they're not already there. So I'll just list them out and you just tell me if they are there. If they're not, then I will tell you what they're based off of.
Okay.
You get to add diplomacy.
I have that.
You have that.
Already have that.
Alright, escape artist.
Have that.
Don't have that.
Okay, so escape artist is based off of dexterity.
Okay.
Perception. Both of you should have that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Spellcraft.
Yep.
Spellcraft, no.
Spellcraft is based off of intelligence.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it.
Every single knowledge skill in the game. So I will go through them
God.
alphabetically. Arcana.
Okay, knowledge, arcana. No, don't have that.
So I would say copy a knowledge that you don't have points in, or if that's not applicable, just copy a knowledge and make it blank, I guess. Like the bare minimum amount of points. Just so that I can go through all of them in alphabetical order so that you can then adjust them later. So it is Arcana. Then it is Dungeoneer.
Okay. Alright.
Then it is Engineer.
Don't have that. And here, okay.
Then it's Geography.
Geography.
Then it's
Okay.
History.
Got that.
Then it's Local.
Okay.
Which I'm sure both of you should already have, but if not.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
After Local is Nature.
that.
Then it's Nobility.
I don't have that.
Then it's Knowledge Psionics, or Planes,
Uh-huh.
whichever you want to write it down as. But I think both of you should already have that.
I already
No,
have
I
that.
don't have that.
Oh, interesting. And then after Psionics is Religion.
Yep. Now I get to add this. Okay.
And,
Cool. Added.
And... Let me double check. Nope. No other bonuses.
Okay, so that would be
Okay.
it.
Yep, that is it.
Awesome.
There is something else in regards to Zamanu that happens, but I will get to that after, since that does take a little bit of time.
Okay.
Bless
Bless
Gesundheit.
you.
Bless you.
Alright. So, after all of you go into the dragon shrine, you see that it's this large circle. It kind of looks like an alchemy circle, sitting on top of a slightly raised stone platform that has been chiseled around the outside to have some artistic depiction of dragons majestically walking in a large circle. And the symbol itself has been chiseled directly into the stone. When you step in, Orvis does seem to chant in a language that sounds similar to Draconic. It sounds similar in a way that the words themselves are what Draconic is derived from, but none of you can understand this particular language. But it is quite clear that he is chanting something. This alchemical circle starts to glow, and after all of you are enveloped in this calm, gentle, warm, white light for a minute or two, you do find yourselves all being a little stronger. In the case of Catan and Reich, your eyes have changed ever so slightly. While I do know both of you do have cat-like eyes, and dragon eyes are designed to be somewhat similar, there is still a distinct difference between a dragon's eye and a cat's eye, and now both of you do have that draconic glow with your eyes, making them look a little more yellow than normal. And then with Zamanu, oops, that's the wrong button that I wanted to push. And with Zamanu, she goes from looking like this to looking like that. She's now just bigger.
It's like
Okay.
5% difference.
Slightly more loaf.
She's no longer fat, though. But I do like the scuffed image anyway, because it's kind of funny. Now, we actually get to the Zamanu part. So, Zamanu is actually a companion that you do have some influence over in regards to her stats, as well as various other things. So, Reich, because you are now the one in control, you get to roll a 2d12.
Let's go. To the 12.
Hold on. Some formatting seems to have messed up on my end for this particular sheet, which makes me a little sad. Okay. And then 7 times 2. 72. So that goes to that. All right. So now we get to her skill points. You have 21 that you can spend. She has a skill for acrobatics, appraise, bluff, climb, crafting, but only for traps, diplomacy, disable device, escape artist, heal, intimidate, every single knowledge skill, linguistics, perception, performance, but only for comedy, sense motive, spellcraft, stealth, survival, swim, and use magic device.
Okay. That is a lot of skills. I couldn't remember all of them in the first go. Do you have a list or something?
How about I just share the screen with you?
Good idea. Okay.
Now, the points that you see there are the points that she came with when she appeared, which she appeared at technically level 5. And they are distributed based on the things that she learned, the things that she knows, just, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What she'd studied, what she's actually good at, so on and so forth.
Okay, and I get 21 on top of that. And what's the cap?
7.
7.
I have to change this. This is supposed to be that. So let's...
Okay.
So
then
you are now her master, meaning you designate what she should focus on.
I would say... let's put 6 more into stealth.
6 more into stealth. Very interesting choice for something that's about to get much, much larger. But alright.
He's gonna make up for it.
Well, they eventually become gargantuan, which is like a -12 to stealth.
Yeah, see, we gotta offset that somehow. Okay.
Groupie has already experienced what happens when large creatures fail stealth checks with Hissy multiple times.
Well, they just act cute in comparison. Anyway, you have 15 skill points left.
Mm-hmm. And... okay... Climb's probably gonna be unnecessary since dragons can fly.
Well, she also just has spider climb on at all times.
Yeah, well.
Oh, it's just supposed to be another +8. Because she gets a +8 racial bonus and then +8 from having spider climb active at all time.
Yeah.
So she can just climb. She automatically has a climb speed. So as long as it's not a sheer surface, she can just exist.
Let's see. Can you scroll down a bit? Let's put 4 more in survival.
4 into survival. Okay. That means you have
Okay.
11 left.
And then I'd say we gotta at least put 3. Yeah, 3 in perform comedy.
3 in perform comedy. You have 8 left.
Another 3 in knowledge history.
Interesting choice. You have 5 left.
Put another 2 in perception.
You have 3 left.
Guess I'll put that 3 into escape artist. Wait, does that make sense? No, that doesn't make any sense.
Then where would you like to put it?
craft traps.
3 into craft traps. We got it. So, while I am redoing the math here and everything else, discuss with your party, because this dragon can learn any first level spell or lower of your choice from any class. Because dragons are busted.
Okay, I need spellcaster advice.
Grease is the greatest spell of all time, but you should choose a spell that you don't already have access to. And I'm not kidding, Grease is the fantasy equivalent of WD-40, it's amazing.
I know you have grease. Locke, do you have grease?
No.
Grease it is!
Surprisingly,
Lake,
as
do you
always,
have grease?
we do not get grease.
To elaborate on why I find grease so useful, it's just really good to be able to lubricate things. It makes floors slippery so people can't fall easily, and it's very flammable, which is also quite useful.
I was about to say, may I make some input on grease as a choice?
Yeah, sure.
Can you?
Any
She's
spellcaster advice?
She's a dragon. Grease something up and burn it.
I don't think
She's
she
not
does
a fire dragon, she's an acid dragon.
Yeah, she does the same thing as I do. Acid.
Oh, she's boring.
Smiles.
Oh, she's the mono here, you.
Boring, yet also just mentioned the most stereotypical dragon. Oh, breeze fire.
Smiles in, acid dripping from my fingernails.
What the fuck?
Oh no.
Thank you very much, Cloak
There.
of Games, for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. You are walking into people discussing on how to raise a dragon.
Oh no, they're basic.
They should make a movie about that.
I know. In fact, they should make 3 and continuously fumble and make each movie subsequently worst. And then make a
I don't know
TV
how to
show.
train your
I
dragon.
like the
And then-
second one. You shut the fuck up. You shut
And
your
then-
fat mouth.
And then make a TV show. And then make another TV show.
I don't want to listen. I don't want to listen.
And then make a live action
For
movie
sure.
about it.
Okay, but hold on. The TV shows were fire. What do you mean?
Don't forget the live
I think
action.
he's talking about the 9 realms.
He said the live action.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other
You can teach this
besides
dragon
grease?
any first level spell of your choice from any class, just as long as it's a
Alright,
first
time for
level
me to
spell.
pull up the SRD.
They're also, you said lower as well, right? So there's probably
first
a good
level or
number of
lower, yes.
Yeah, there's a good number of cantrips that are also really useful.
Let me guess, they are bards? No, as a matter of fact, we only have one bard in the group.
True. Though I thought in the
Yes,
beginning
it is.
Sammy was also a bard.
No, Sammy was an investigator and was always an investigator.
Sammy just played an instrument.
Yeah,
Really?
I know,
Yeah,
but
really.
In the beginning I thought like Group A was 3 bards.
From
I did
left
too.
from left to right on the table here, we have an investigator. In the back
Hello.
left-hand corner, which is a cat, which is controlled by another player here, is actually
Hello.
a Blood Rager, but a Dex build Blood Rager. We then have a strength-built rogue, for the purple-haired child. We have a cleric for the pink-haired one. We have the bard, which is the bird. We have a sorcerer. Then we have a war priest, another investigator, and then another rogue. And then a cat. We have a fat cat.
Yeah, a sorcerer. Yippee.
Mother, I require treats.
Not now. Close his mouth.
Why'd you think we had multiple bards, though, Cloaker?
Probably something along
It's
the
a
lines
stereotype.
of 5e stereotyping with
dragons.
bards, and yeah, it's a 5e stereotype.
Let's see, because I'm trying to, because I am looking at bard spells because I know that like I don't know, copper dragons for some reason love telling jokes that kill people.
They
So-
do. That is actually a thing that copper dragons get when they get bigger. It's kind of
That's
funny.
why I'm looking at bard spells.
What level is Blistering Invective second? Damn it.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess ear-piercing scream. You could flavor it like a joke is being said there.
No, she would
It's
just
a really
scream.
bad joke, and then Zamana's going ha ha ha.
I mean, grease is also a really good spell.
It is. I'm just trying to see if there are any other more like interesting options outside of grease, because we all know that grease is a great spell to have.
That's just my bias. That's me.
I think it's
my
a
favorite-
great
it's one of
spell
my
to
favorite
have.
spells in the game.
It's seducing
There
the
is
dragon.
a,
No dragon was seduced here, actually.
If I recall,
Another
is-
5e stereotype.
Yeah,
God.
that's what I was implying earlier. But as far as bard spells go, for spells that don't require performance, I would say that it's for first and lower. It's usually grease, ear-piercing scream, or kind of S tier, and then having something like spark in light, detect magic, that kind of thing for cantrips if you need one of those. Aside from grease, though, you might want to make sure you get something that you can't already do. I don't know if any of your Thieves Guild friends have grease already or no.
Let's
Yeah,
teach her bouncy body.
Why is
Wow.
there a spell here called Detect Radiation?
Detecting radiation, what
Saw
else?
that.
Yeah. What's wrong with detecting radiation?
Okay, I'm gonna pull up ear-piercing scream because that's.
Do you want your skin to melt off? No, that's why you detect
Oh.
radiation.
Oh, you know what? You know what Zamano needs?
What?
Oh god.
Considering how fucking often she complains about it, let's just give her Endure Elements.
Oh, actually, I misread. You are not. Picking anything. I misread the whole thing.
What?
There are certain
Aw.
spell-like abilities that dragons get that cannot be changed. However, starting on her very next evolution, like the next dragon shrine you go to, she does gain sorcerer spells, or spells that are just treated as sorcerer spells, to which from there then you get to start picking the spells that she knows that she can cast.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So we just had a 15-minute conversation for nothing.
Because
less
I
overwhelming.
misread, which is entirely my
okay.
fault. I am sorry.
That's okay.
I will hang my head in shame. Bless.
No. God damn it.
Hang my head and call me shameless.
I should have seen that coming, yet I didn't.
Skill issue, honestly. Alright, well, the other thing that gets to be decided is the feat. So just like with normal creatures, is there any important lore I need to know since this is episode
Oh
18
God.
and I'm new?
You might want to
A
watch the
lot.
VOD channel. May I send you a link to the VOD channel?
Oh, you can put the link in the chat, dear. That's fine.
Okay, because
But
I
there's-
feel like that's very necessary.
There is a lot.
17 sessions, each like 4 hours long of lore.
Yeah.
Here, actually, you know what? I will do you one even better and send you the playlist because I have made a playlist for all the sessions for this campaign in particular because Shameless is currently running 2.
That is true. I am running 2. There's the
So
regular
I don't want
D&D
you to get
campaign
confused.
and the Pokemon campaign.
Yeah, alright, there you go. Alright, so this is the specific playlist for Tales of Telduria.
I'm
If you also want
afraid
to take a look at the Pokemon one, you can take a look at that one as well. It's called Age of Orlan.
I'm afraid to click on the link because I'm afraid to listen to my own voice and just cringe at terrible audio quality.
You should be the last person cringing at the sound of your own voice. Shut the fuck up.
Cringe at audio quality.
I'm going to grab
Do
your
you at least do the audio compression thing with
Oh no.
you just download and then upload
I just
immediately.
raw dog it, yeah.
Oh, great, cool.
To be fair, Shame, it's not
You
your audio
sound
quality that's
fine.
cringe.
I know, I'm just awful and cringe at everything.
Damn.
Also, Cloaker, if you are interested in watching more of these sessions, if you type in !socials, there should be a Discord link that pops up. Since I always do notifications for when I go live, with the added benefit of, I don't know, watching my wife too, if you're into VTubers as well.
No, VTubers are cringe.
VTubers are cringe, I say, as a VTuber.
VTubers are fucking cringe.
It's one of the things that you have to have going in. It's like a job requirement.
Exactly.
Yeah. Every single time we see a new VTuber come up, we go look and see if they have if they had a DeviantArt or Wattpad account, and they get put into 2 different camps.
Regardless, just like every living creature, they do get an A feat every I want to be a VTuber, don't we all? Anyway, just like all living creatures, they do get a feat every odd level, and the 3 that she started off with is Toughness, Improved Toughness, and then Dodge. So what do you think would be a good feat for her to pick up? Or rather,
We
what
can't pick up
mechanic?
improved.
What mechanic would you like her to be better at?
What's toughness do? I forget.
Toughness gives you +1 HP per character level. Improved Toughness doubles that.
Oh, cool.
So do you want her to be fatter, or do you want her to move better?
Well, that's not what I said. What?
Toughness. You become thicker.
Honestly, I'm thinking something like grapple.
You want her to be better at grappling.
Yeah, I think that would actually work quite well. And with her getting like bigger in size, the farther we go, she should be pretty good at that.
So you want her to vor people, is what you're telling me?
What
Hold
the
on.
fuck?
No.
How did you make that leap?
I feel like that was not what he said. Not with the
Freudian
mouth.
slip a bit there.
No,
Maybe
it's
she
not a
just said
Freudian
Bono.
slip. It's a literal matter of mechanics. Because this is a 4-legged animal, and size being an important thing, you don't grab and grapple with claws. Dogs don't grapple with their arms, they grapple with their mouth.
Can't she just sit on people?
Yeah, sure, but they need to
anal
be
vor, got it.
outside. They need to
Oh
be
my God.
outside of her body for me to be able to shank them.
Did you just say anal bore?
Wait,
We're gonna get banned.
Brother.
Jesus.
Well,
Sorry, Cloaker, these are my players.
suck it in. I didn't even do anything this time.
I didn't even acknowledge that. Just
But
after
what
you
GF
it
said
the
is
second
true. If you don't have enough money to do VTubing, then get a
Oh,
relatively
okay, thank
decent
God.
PNG model. They do okay.
Cynical thought you were talking about the other thing.
Yeah. What YGF said is true. Anal bore is a valid.
Yeah, anal vor is a valid. God damn it.
No.
You're all
Stop having
awful.
2 different conversations at once. Then how about that?
No.
No.
You're big.
I'm sorry,
Smiles.
Oh my
I
God.
dissociated for a minute and came back to anal vor. What?
Yeah, me too.
Maybe
Don't-
dissociate again. You don't want to be in.
Yeah, just re-dissociate.
Okay.
How about
Go
that?
Okay, I'm going back to my blank space now.
Okay, bye. Back that ass up.
Ayo?
Hey yo.
Okay.
So you want her to be better at grappling.
I'd say that would make sense. If anybody has another idea to bring up, I would not be opposed to listening.
Like I said,
Maybe
it's
just make her
all
conkier?
all a feat is making a mechanic of the game either easier to do or simply more powerful within its own context. So, That's why I always ask, is there any kind of mechanic that you would like Zamanu to be better at? Because the mechanic literally goes anywhere between being tankier, to hitting better, to dealing more damage, to being able to do more niche actions, like you stated with grappling, being better at skill checks, being better at just any mechanic that you can think of that you would like her to be better at.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like this, like grappling or disarming line, kind of just like being a nuisance, disabling, for lack of a better term.
So you want her to be better at grappling?
Yes.
Okay, then that's very easy. She just gets improved grappling. You get a +2 bonus on all CM bonus and CM defense checks in relation to grappling. Also, attempting a grapple check does not provoke attacks of opportunity. So then we just go over here, +2, imp, grapple, and this then becomes a +10. There you go. That's it. Clap, clap, clap.
Nice.
You now
Nice.
have a Dargan that you have customized yourself. How do you feel?
Cool. I have a
Cool.
dragon.
You have a dragon.
I love dragons.
As a
Why are you so
concept,
hesitant
right?
to adopt it?
Well, because Reich's not a good parent.
I see.
How
He
would he
wouldn't
know?
know that.
Yeah, how would he know?
Kitan thought the same thing, and then got Vivi.
And Vivi is the greatest daughter in the world.
Correct.
She is a little sweetheart.
Anyway, now with Zamanu all figured out, and the group all ready to go, Orvis does have one last request for the group. He goes on to explain, which takes him another 3.5 hours in order to do so, that he, as a dragon, used to be worshipped in a minor manner, not so much as a deity, but more like a protectorate of the peoples nearby. And while he does understand that as time goes on, people won't feel the need to upkeep certain traditions, to which he is not upset by, but he does miss the offerings, and he would like you all to bring a lamb for him to feast on.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
You hear the draconic version of just yippee.
Leikug will get kind of sad and go, wait, but you're... hold on, how long does it take for us to go from Kelnor to the Dragon Shrine here?
It was only about an hour walk.
Oh, it was an
Oh.
hour, so we didn't really.
Leikug's
Okay.
just gonna get really
Oh.
sad. She's like, well, Kelnor's like just an hour away.
Maybe we could talk to Kane about it.
I will personally make sure it happens. I'm kind of sad that you're you just kind of stuck here?
To which he's like, what? No, I'm not stuck here. I choose to be here. It's nice here. It's warm.
Oh. How
Pretty
often
sure there's
do
no
you
room
want a
for me to
lamb?
fly away.
Well, I used to get one every week, and it was my favorite snack.
How's Kelnor's livestock doing, Leiku?
Not very
How are
well.
they doing, God?
Not very well. Remember, the country was
Okay.
almost pushed into
Yeah.
complete and total bankruptcy under everyone's nose.
Well, Kelnor is kind of under new leadership right now, so they're kind of getting everything settled there. But once that's done, or like while you're waiting, would you be okay with just a sheep, lamb every once in a while before I can make it a little more consistent?
The dragon thinks for a moment, then nods along. I would like that.
Okay, consider it done. Best. I'll pass on the word to Kane.
I would like that very much. Yippee!
Like, who's just happy at the fact that, like, you know, after this whole adventuring is over and everything's and the dust starts to settle and she settles down, she can actually come over to this dragon shrine once a month to have tea with this dragon. Talk. He's a very great conversationalist. Leiku likes.
Keep in mind that it took you an hour to get there, maybe about 20 to 30 minutes to get through the whole ordeal, considering that you did have to stop and talk to each of the sphinxes that appeared. And that he kept you there for almost 7 hours.
That's okay.
We don't have to bring the sheep with the whole ordeal, do we? Do we have to do that key thing again?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
He goes,
We don't have to do
oh
the
no,
trial
there's a back entrance, and he turns around and he places his paw against one of the walls, and this small door for the average-sized human slides open to the left. To when you look out, you see that it leads directly to the nearest beach of Kelnor.
Oh, okay.
Well, that would have been helpful.
Well, I mean, like, it's a dragon shrine.
It's
It's
a
a dragon
trial
shrine.
was
We
the
have to do
point,
a
I think.
trial.
Yeah. Oh, come on, it was an adventure, Sammy. Don't you like adventures? We had fun riddles.
That I didn't get to participate in.
Oh
that
my
was
god.
that was for meta reasons, not.
That's Oni talking, not Sammy.
I'm sure Orvis has a ton of great riddles if you're so into that. And I'm sure he doesn't mind sharing them.
Well, if I'm ever allowed to tag along with Her Majesty and come along for tea, I'd love to talk riddles with him.
To which Orvis will turn to Sammy and go, well, if you would like some riddles, I do have quite a lot of older ones, if you were interested in them.
You'll have to hit me with them. I might even have a few that might stump you.
So this will take, in-game, 14 hours. How many of you are staying for that long?
Rosin is going
Sammy
to
to
go
have
help.
riddles going on?
I don't know. I don't want to leave Sammy here alone, but also I kind of want to get that
Buddy,
sheep that
Sammy
he
can
asked
make
for.
it back.
Yeah.
Sammy can traverse a beach. I'm gone. Lysandra says, see you, it was nice to meet you, and just out the door. I'm going
Yeah, I'm
on a
just getting-
beach walk.
Just helping getting the lamb in the meantime.
This would have been very, very nice for Leiku, I'm sure, but she's horny. She's going back.
Okay.
Great.
Before Sammy and Orvis get into a riddle off,
I don't think that's how you want to describe it, but continue.
she does have a
Off those
question for
riddles.
him.
And that is,
So, my husband had mentioned that it would be wise to come and talk to you if you have any knowledge regarding druids in the area.
Orvis says that a good portion of the druids that used to exist here in Kelnor were all invited to the Fanglands. The last surviving druid, as a matter of fact, is himself.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about a giant spider, would you?
He asks for what species.
I have no idea.
Do you have the spider with
We-
you?
Safe to assume that Ghost is big enough that he probably stayed home for this, right?
Probably, yeah.
No.
Next time.
but
Can
I
you
can
at least
bring him.
describe the spider to some degree?
Large brown, bristly hairs, beautiful brown eyes, roughly the size of a stagecoach.
Orvis slowly, his eyes like moving around as he thinks here and there, here and there. You're describing a giant tarantula?
Yeah.
They're not the size of a stagecoach. They're the size of me. Well, half the size of me.
He's currently somewhat smaller than yourself. He's still growing. He's still a baby.
Okay, you made it seem like he was fully grown. Any
No,
other
he still has
colorations
some
that I
room.
need to know of from a fully grown adult? That is important.
Would Gosa have the same coloration as his mom?
Yes.
Yes, streaks of green along the back of his thorax.
Ah, that's the marking of Najmek, who is hopefully still alive, but that would still be in the Fanglands.
Ah. I have to take my baby to the Fanglands then.
Though, like I said, I don't know if he's still alive. If he is, he's one incredibly old bastard. So you might want to try and look for any of his descendants. Do you know how druids make descendants?
I haven't the foggiest idea, my lord.
They take a druid who has been trained in the ways of druid, and then they grant them their last name, which gives them a little bit of their power and creates this very long line of names for people to track backwards. Does he have any proteges in the current world, or do you not know that answer?
I don't know.
Everyone here can go ahead and make a knowledge history check. If
Wait, I
they
remember
have
this
ranks.
code.
No.
I remember this. There is one. We read about it in the library.
Oh, so
I know,
you wanna...
I know one, but it wouldn't.
So you're telling me that you just want to say the answer and not roll for experience
No, I want to
points?
roll. I want to roll. I'm just saying we found this out.
Can Rawson take a 20 here?
Sure.
Well, I can't
Just-
roll for it because I don't
Is
have
this
ranks in it.
history?
Okay.
If you have ranks in it, you can go ahead and
Oh.
roll. If you do not,
Well, I
then you
don't-
cannot roll.
fuck, I
Rosin,
have to
since
roll
you're taking a
anyway.
20, then just, 20
plus
plus mod, yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, look. You, Reich, do not have ranks in it if yours is a +2.
Wait, but fuck ranks. Yeah, shit. Yeah, I have no lot of ranks.
Oh, that got 20.
That would have been helpful.
I mean, Roslyn gets the 20 anyways. It's not a nat 20.
It's
but,
not nat 20 though.
I know. I knew. But you
Yeah,
know,
it's
20
not
is still
treated as a
good.
nat
I'm
20.
pretty sure Rosin does. I'm pretty sure Rosin. I don't know if he knows that she's a descendant, but Rosin does know. I'm pretty sure.
We do because it was in the
Character-
book we read. That's
You-
the only
none of
reason
you-
why I remember
None of
it.
you ever mentioned that to Rosin, which
No,
is
I was
frustrated me
with
the
you.
entire.
We read it in the book in the library.
You and I did not. You and I were
We
on a
did.
different
It was
section of
in
the library.
our book.
I could have swore we didn't, unless I'm thinking
It
of
was
a
in
completely
our
different
book.
druid.
It's the only reason
Yeah,
I
it
remember
was
it. I swear
when
to
we-
God.
When we all split up, it was in you and Lysandra's section of the library.
I don't.
The only
That's-
time
that's
I
why
remember
Sammy-
Then I'm thinking of a
something.
different druid because Rosin was really. I was really frustrated at the time that we split. I can go back. I will go back and see the VOD, and I will.
I
Back
will
in the
go
book,
back and
because I
see the
swear to
VOD.
God, it was in our book.
I mean, you
swear
can
to God it
double
was not.
you can double check, but I'm pretty sure the information would have been shared anyway.
Because Rosin definitely would have said something about it if it is.
DM me when you go and check. By the way, I need
will.
you to. I need you to
I need to because I
DM
could
me.
have swore it wasn't. Because if it is the druid that Rosin knows, which DM would know the answer to that question.
Well, what is the druid's name if you believe that you
Zerna.
know? Yes, you are correct. It's
Yeah.
Zerna.
Because Rosin would have said something. Because Rosin fucking loved Zerna in blue.
Wait, did Rosin ever meet Zerna in Blue?
Yes, that was his
Yeah.
backstory.
Okay, just making sure.
You
I
guys
personally
mentioning
can't
that in the
remember.
backstory.
He assisted her in, I guess the manifest would say, moving exotic livestock.
Oh. Exotic livestock.
Like blue. Alright. But you did all pass. Rosin, you got the highest, to which he would immediately pipe up to Orvis and go, yes, actually, I've met her. Her name is Zerna. To which Orvis will simply nod along and go, well, there you go. You at least have some path that you can take in order to find whoever you're looking for.
Zerna. Yeah, we dealt with her once. I almost died twice that day. Good times.
Oh, okay.
Was it the cane? Her little crook? She get hit pretty hard with that thing.
No, it was a T-Rex and like
Oh.
a swarm of raptors.
Oh, exotic livestock.
I never had to deal with anything like that.
Like
but
who pouts
I
and
believe
crosses
it.
her arms. I wanted the raptor.
Oh.
Yeah, you did.
Not one.
Savage.
Hissy
Lysandra's
will
gonna
immediately
approach Orvis.
Hissy will
Oh,
immediately
sorry.
speak up and say, you want to replace me? The fuck
I would
no.
never
Mother, how
Oh,
dare you?
no.
Am I not better than a raptor?
You shush. You are my best creation, Hissy.
Mother.
You are the best child. Shoves a cake into his mouth.
Where did you get this kid? Why are you
Yes,
role-playing as
Lysandra.
Hissy? You're not even Hissy.
It is my breast. I will.
I like doing the voice.
Yeah, come on.
Someone
That
has
was,
to do the
by the
voice,
way,
come on.
what I told you about Leiku being scary. If you remember me telling you that.
I don't.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Why is Leiku scary?
Because
that
you
was the day
fucking
Leiku-
obliterated that dinosaur.
Oh,
Blew
that's
up a
right. I
dinosaur's
know
head.
that creature, right? I did. I can do
You
much
are
scarier
fired
things
using a
now.
It was your
creature.
first time using a gun in
That's
all of
true.
Pathfinder, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was my first time using a gun at all, period. It was a nat 20 on
Oh,
a pistol right
Jesus.
through the
You made
skull.
art for it. It was cool.
I did.
Oh, I
yeah.
remember that
I made
now.
splash art.
That was great.
Anyway.
Lysandra wants to talk to the big dragon, so I'm being rude. Lysandra goes up to the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about other dragons?
Well, of course. Why wouldn't I? We're all siblings
well-
in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, can you tell me anything about the Isle of the Ancients?
Ah, that is where Badaran and Ifamor exist. They hate each other, for a lack of a better word.
I heard that they fight a lot.
They do, very frequently.
I'm trying to be able to talk to Reliqua, and the only lead that I have is to go to the Isle of Ancients.
Ah, well, good luck with that. You
Okay.
might need to temporarily settle their differences if that's the case.
Okay. So they might stop us from potentially going above the clouds?
No, they wouldn't stop you directly, but if it's anywhere within their realm, there could be a sudden spike in unbearable temperature, to put it as politely as possible, which may either instantly freeze you over or instantly incinerate you.
So one is a red
don't
and one
think-
is a blue?
One is a red and one is a white.
White. Which one is white and which one is blue?
Well, if
A
one
red.
deals with fire, which one do you think deals with fire?
The red one.
Correct.
But
And
what
he'll
is their
lightly pat
name?
the top of your head with one of his claws. Good job.
Thank you. But what is their name?
Just said it was Uteron and Ifamor.
Well, yeah, but which one of those is red and which one is white?
Uteron is the red one.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was asking.
It was another riddle.
That's another at all. For real though. Like those names don't give me any context clues here. Lysandra's just going to bow her head and say thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I remembered to ask about something. I'm so smart today.
Utteron will give a polite bow to everyone else, except for Sammy, who's trapped there for the next 14 hours.
Bye, Sammy.
Everyone comes back, and Leighton's like, "Where's my wife?" Oh, they had better things to do. Oh, okay, cool.
Oh no!
Oh, damn.
Damn.
Poor
No!
Oni.
Is
Don't
no one
look
gonna
mean with
tell
that
him his
one.
wife is staying behind for a riddles contest?
That's what.
Lysandra
that's what
would
he's
at least.
and that's what he's responding to. Is you had better things to do. Okay.
Thanks.
Jesus.
Don't worry, she'll be back soon, Leiku says as she looks to find Kane for no reason at all.
Yeah, no reason at all.
No reason.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Lysandra does at least tell Leighton that it's a riddle competition. Okay? Somebody
Leighton
needs
would
to.
be deeply unimpressed by this.
Well, tell that to your
Missy
wife.
will
I don't
stay
know what you
behind
want
and
from me.
say, "Feed me."
Feed me.
Mother.
Feed me, Seymour.
Leiku will just call back and go, "You know how to speak, just go to the kitchen."
Mother.
Why are you like this?
My fat cat smile. I love him so much. My fat cat.
Again, why are you like this?
He is love. He is lovely.
He is lovely.
everything.
He is the
everything.
soft and rotund specimen.
He's the soft and... How's that art coming along, by the way?
I'm working on it right now, actually.
I see, I see. Anyway. Pretty sure that this would probably be the best place to end it, so I would like to thank you all for being here. I'd like to thank you all for coming out. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, and good night.
Good night.
Bye.